Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fitchburg Planning Board, Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 at 6:03 p.m. Just a brief statement. My readers today. All meetings of the Fitchburg Planning Board are open to the public. This does not mean that the public participates in all aspects of the meeting. It simply means that the meeting itself, including all discussion and votes, is open to public view. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing, please raise your hand and the board will acknowledge you at the appropriate time during the hearing. The board will also monitor any participants that are attending virtually for questions at the appropriate time. Virtual attendees are asked to use the raise hand function to be acknowledged. 1, state your name and address. 2, approach the center table and either stand or sit. This allows you to be seen and heard clearly by everyone in attendance. 3, the planning board requests that comments be limited to no more than 5 minutes in the interest of time. Please be advised that FATV is conducting audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast, and I ask that anyone in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by stating their name and address. Seeing none. Great. Our first item on the agenda this evening.
Paul, I do have it was an accident. I was going to say I had a hand raised. I want to make sure it wasn't a recording thing. It's not. They put it down.
All right. And actually, I'm going to take a roll call vote. Just to see, make sure we have attendance recorded. Those present, just say aye. Amanda? Aye. Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Here.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Our first item is approval not required plans, for which we have none. Our second item this evening is our category of minor site plans and modifications, and which this evening we have 69 Cully Street. We have Steve Sene proposing a building trade shop, 1,200 square feet in the NB district. This is continued from our August meeting. With the revised section.
And I keep putting I'll pull up with. Do we have an actual copy of that for the TV people or?
Yes,
Okay.
well, not this year, but the plan that Steve gave us last week.
Okay, I got it. Anyone in the audience wants to see the physical copies after the board, so maybe put them on the table. Okay, there we go.
All right, Steve, would you like to tell us what you need for modification since the last meeting?
So after the last meeting, I took the comments and recommendations of the board and incorporated them onto the revisions that you see on the screen. Most of the revisions are in red. Landscaping, curbing, those types of things, a corral for a dumpster. And then I also kind of made a couple of notes on the far left, just noting some of the DPW recommendations on the line of sight for the road, just removing the shrubs at the end of the road and making sure that the area between Briar Street and Cully Street was all grass. And then we also included some very basic elevations for you for the proposed building. It is kind of just a drop space, so it's really kind of a very simple building. So I believe that we kind of took all the recommendations and comments from the last meeting and incorporated them in. And I don't have the actual numbers of the waivers that we'll need, but those 2 waivers that we spoke about.
Okay.
You guys would actually know the numbers better than I would.
It's the landscaping waiver of the 20-foot depth.
Correct. Yeah.
Also the reduction in the 10-foot buffer waiver. The landscaping not residential, running residential.
If correct in saying it may be 181.543 and 181.544. I think were the two that were mentioned.
We have the 2 parking spaces and the red lines. Move the door. So this, then we go with the sidewalk. You're still having like a rear exit door to the other parcel to the right.
To the right-hand side, correct.
Yeah, you're at 181.543, 543. That's landscaping requirement property lines and landscaping requirement for street frontage and non-residential uses.
And the building elevations you submitted are generally what it is, the construction's gonna look like, muted colors.
Say it again.
Muted colors, so to speak.
Yeah, I actually couldn't find the same color as the buildings on the street to kind of put them on the plan. So that's as close as I could get, but we can do,
I mean, that's.
Just trying to identify, just
Yeah.
kind of what you can do.
Is this a manufactured building, Steve, or is it a stick-built building?
no, this will be a stick-built building. Yeah, so it'll be a concrete foundation, wood frame, and then it'll have metal siding that would match the other buildings right in that area, and a flat roof.
And we mentioned, because like, we appreciate the landscaping, but in the public way, because it just goes out to meet the street. So we just need to coordinate that with DPW, but also like one of the conditions of the site plan would be to maintain.
Correct, yes. And I think that would go for the whole property for,
Yes.
Needs a landscaping.
Yeah, whatever you have.
correct.
Yeah, I think Nick had suggested that we have some sort of maintenance agreement for, because it would be maintained and including within the right of way. But we can make.
Well, for like,
We can make it a permanent condition that he has to maintain it, and then if he needs a maintenance agreement, they can just draft one he can work with DPW to draft something.
it just had brought up, since it's pretty common that this occurs, that perhaps we should have a standard document that just lays that out, responsibility.
And I'm not sure if correct me if I'm wrong or help me out with this one. Planning board decisions, are they all recorded? Would this be a recorded decision as well?
No.
Okay, so if you wanted to,
Record it.
yeah, so if you need,
Nothing to say you can't record that in order to.
so if it helps to make that a recordable part of the, I'm fine with that, just so that there's no,
Probably a best idea, particularly when there's a maintenance.
Yep, I think that's a great idea. Thanks, Steve.
and do we have the notes kind of from last time
Yeah.
on okay.
So last time we talked about removing the arborvitae from the intersection and move to the end of the building. And if Paul and I saw this, but Peter and Amanda and Alex, he's adding shrubs behind the parking lot on the adjacent property too, to kind of screen from the neighbors as well. Needs curbing and landscaping around pole 7 to be maintained by owner, which is on the plan now. Provide building elevations, which we have. That building height stayed about what you said, 16 feet, give or take.
Yeah, correct.
We talked about trash and building, but you said it's gonna be outside now. It's gonna be a vinyl fence, decorative fence screening the dumpster location there. Utility connections are on the plan. No outside storage would be a permanent condition. Did the zoning district get changed on the plan?
Yes.
Okay, it did. Oh yeah, neighborhood business, good up here. So.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yeah.
On the corral for the dumpster, can I make that chain link with privacy slats in it?
So we don't
Durability?
ever generally allow chain link with privacy slats because A, they don't weather well, and B, they look terrible. So,
Depends what you can see from a public view. That's is what you can see as being viewed, particularly from a residential side.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not visible to cars going by and neighbors and whatever else, we wouldn't even have to be screened, meaning if it was behind a building somewhere or, not visible to the public, that would be different. But that's a pretty visible location and it's a pretty small site. So I do understand that they are a little more costly to maintain, especially when you plow into one of them by mistake. But obviously I suppose it's because it abuts the residential neighborhood. You want it to look good. We talked about that it would be conditioned on the because it didn't have enough parking for automotive uses, that the site plan would stipulate that you cannot have automotive uses due to the parking provided, because it doesn't meet the minimum for any of the automotive uses. Maximum of 2 vehicles on site, including no unregistered vehicles. Those were the conditions I had last time, or the notes I had last time.
And then I think we added one in for one of the other board members that restricted a GVW weight of 26,000 pounds.
Yeah, if you're fine with that, then sure. Gross vehicle weight 20 what?
26,000. Anything greater than 26,000 is, I'll say, prohibited.
Steve, what was the thinking behind moving the dumpster outside? I think last time we spoke, it was going to be inside.
Correct.
Because it on sale and never somebody's going to put a dumpster outside, so we have to locate a dumpster. If you don't want a dumpster right now, that's fine, but what's approved on the site plan in the future, if anybody has a dumpster outside, it's got to be screened. Want to
Okay.
maintain it inside for the time being, that's fine.
We gotta show them.
But if it's outside, we need to have
Sounds good.
identify the location.
Yeah.
I would encourage you, if it's possible, with either your use or whoever, you ever lease or sell this to, if they want to keep it inside, all the better. I mean, whatever we can't see trash, that's preferable.
We decided to recommend first.
Yeah, maybe something smaller and you could, you want to minor modification, move it to a different spot or closer to the building, it turns out it can be. But right now it's kind of like out there on the island, and you can show how the arborvitae's are going to be ready at the outset.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So you're going to have like the arborvitae's so tall, and you have the white vinyl. It's there, I mean, it's there.
Does it need to be?
It's not having a 10-foot landscaping buffer in between residential, you just got to figure out.
I gotta do something on the front, yeah. Can I ask another question? With, because we are gonna just readjust the lot line over there, does that need to be specified in this? Or do we just come back with that after we have an as-built in the foundation? Okay, so just after the.
Just the lot line.
You're talking about just making this lot its own. Yeah, we'll do the A&R.
Okay.
Right. That's how we usually do it. We just sign the A&R after the.
A&R to sign right now.
Right, exactly, after the site plan. Yep.
But that's the intention, have a separate parcel.
Mhm. It is now, so, yeah. Yep.
This is not a public hearing, but does the board have any members?
Looks good.
Questions?
Yeah.
Alex, do you have any questions?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any other, just mentioned, any other department comments or anything like that?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we got comments previously, numbers of months ago. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the minor site plan for 69 Cullen Street. Subject to the conditions we noted. Do you want me to read them?
Go right.
All right, so I had final dumpster enclosure, maintain landscaping on site as well as the areas on the site plan within the right of way, with the note that might involve some sort of maintenance agreement with the DPW. Waiver of 181.544 and 181.543. To permit condition to the board cease decision at Mr. Sene's gracious volunteering to make sure that no vehicles on site have a gross vehicle weight more than 26,000 pounds, maximum of 2 vehicles on site per the parking on the plan, as well as no unregistered vehicles. That due to the site design and the parking, that automotive uses are not allowed in this current configuration. No outside storage. Subject to the building elevations provided. And
Another regular staple is just any dark sky compliant lighting, just anything like that, my neighborhood, I'm sure there's anything on the outside of the building. And
outward facing lighting. No.
So have that motion?
That's all I got.
the motion's been made and seconded. Roll call vote, all those in favor say aye, all those opposed say opposed. Amanda? Aye. Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
Right,
Thanks, Steve.
thank you.
All right, thank you guys very much. Appreciate the help on this one.
Yes, Charlie's on. There's a good name. Let me just stop the share there. Charlie, I unmuted you. You just have to press the microphone button.
Good evening.
Good evening. Our next item on our agenda is 140 Industrial Drive Special Permit Site Plan, a minor modification. The applicant Native Sun proposes to convert 2 grow rooms to packaging operations with no building exposure.
For the record, it's Industrial Road.
Oh, yeah, industrial, thank you.
It's okay. Industrial Road, Authority Drive, they're confusing.
All right, all set. Just let us know what you'd like us to bring up on the screen.
Good evening. This is Charlie Yon from 140 Industrial Road LLC. Appreciate the board hearing our request this evening. You may recall from the most recent meeting that we attended that we are here to discuss the minor special permit modification for the proposed work that we've submitted to you, and here to answer any questions and discuss our proposed plans.
All right, Charlie, just for the people that are in the audience that aren't familiar with what you're doing, can you just give a brief summary of the plan and why you're in front of us?
Sure thing. So we are here to renovate flower rooms 11, 12, 13, 14, and rename them to Warehouse 1, Processing 1, Processing 2, and Processing 3 for the purpose of product packaging and manufacturing. So under our Cannabis Control Commission approved adult use manufacturing license, Native Sun will operate packaging equipment in these rooms to package flower, gummies, as well as fill and package, vape pens, pre-rolls, things of that nature. This will also be a designated room. There will also be a designated room for decontamination and remediation services. Native Sun will utilize this equipment to package its own cannabis and cannabis products, as well as cannabis and cannabis products produced by other licensed facilities. So generally, the renovation scope will include installing new doors, a receiving area in Warehouse 1, relocating electrical drops and outlets, building of 1 new finished product area, a walk-in cooler for pre-processed storage, a work in progress storage area, and the installation of automation equipment, access control equipment, as well as new security cameras to cover the equipment and sight lines required. We do not anticipate making any changes to the existing foundation or the overall MEP-FP system, as these systems were specified to handle the fully outfitted building and have previously been installed, inspected, and permitted for use.
Charlie, is it the white area on the plan that's up on the screen right now?
Correct. Yes.
So just I guess a layman summary. Nothing's changing with the building. You're changing rooms from grow rooms to packaging, and that's really the only difference.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Approximate square footage that will be converted.
So each of these grow rooms is approximately 1,500 square feet. I apologize, I don't know that number off the top of my head. I will try and pull it up while we're talking. So between the 4 rooms plus a little bit of hallway space, I would say approximately 6,000 square feet. Maybe 6,200.
And you just mentioned there's going to be a new receiving area. Is that still within, let's, I would say, gated area on the exterior?
No, so we don't currently have a gate on the premises. You may recall.
I'm not sure. It's going to be a new receiving area, and it's being a new receiving area, so.
Where's the receiving area, Charlie?
So if you scroll to the right, it's sort of a little bit to the right, a little bit right, down, right there.
Okay.
So basically, this is an existing paved, I guess, access road to our like generator, our chiller area. So just be using that existing.
When you send out product right now, is it out in the open?
No, all product is transported according to Cannabis Control Commission, requirements. So generally it's like locked storage containers, that are
No, I mean to get from in the building to the vehicles for delivery.
Where is that located? Is it within a gated area where this occurs, or is it just?
It's if you pause moving,
Sorry.
we have 2 current delivery areas. The primary delivery area for cannabis, you can see where the dumpsters are on the left-hand side of the screen. And you can see the overhead door nearby. In that, you're right where your mouse is now.
Yeah, this is it right here.
So basically, the vast majority of cannabis deliveries at this time are conducted in like Sprinter vans.
Yep.
So the Sprinter vans pull up, they are, I won't say they're completely concealed by the dumpster and the HVAC equipment that you see on the plans and exist there in reality. But, this is, I would say that the deliveries are as close to concealed as we can get as currently constituted.
But is that in a fenced-in area within the property?
It is not within a fenced area. We removed the fence requirement from our special permit modification in a previous modification.
And
That's just to the back, to the school, not surrounding this.
yeah, I mean, I suppose if that's what they do now and there aren't issues,
So pretty much, though, it's been a permit condition for what the grow facilities to actually have a secure area for doing that activity. Like fenced in around where your transport area, your actual transition occurs.
I can't speak to the requirements of the other
Well,
special
is that
permits.
something you could add a fence around that particular area?
It's not something we'd considered, so I can't really speak to it on the fly. I apologize. I'm not prepared to discuss a fence.
so is the goal going to be to have 2? So you're going to do in this packaging area, they're going to take product in and out of this rear door down here, and then you're going to have other
No.
products. Oh, you're not. So it's all going to be in
No.
where you're loading up vans now is going to be the same for throughout the building.
There will additionally
Loading into the
be,
Sprinter vans in this overhead door for everything. This rear door that we were talking about that brought up this question to begin with is just what, emergency access?
correct. The door your cursor is currently over is an emergency egress that, currently exists at the facility. And before you go too far, could you bring your mouse back to the emergency egress?
Yeah.
And then if you bring your mouse slightly forward, you can, slightly to the top of the screen, there's an overhead door proposed in that area. So there would be certain deliveries that would go to that area as opposed to the area that we're currently receiving deliveries, which you would need to move the plans
Yeah.
left and up.
Yeah.
So
Is
you-
there a reason why you need to add another delivery area?
It's to segregate the deliveries. We'll maintain the flow of the product that we grow on site through our existing delivery channels. And the other cannabis that we bring in from other cannabis operators, we want to keep, separated from our own product, which is the reason for the separate area.
So there'll be two areas will be loading and unloading.
In total, I would say yes. Yes. We do have a third loading dock on the other side of the building that's primarily used for that's exclusively used for non-cannabis items. That's been previously approved and in operation since we started in July of 2023.
I will say that I was going to wait, but I talked to, since he wasn't able to come, I talked to Captain LeMay today, and he did say that Native Son has been one of the better manufacturing facilities we deal with insofar as compliance and reporting false alarms and all of the, when there are issues and whatever issues they are, they're very quick to mitigate them, and they have. Captain LeMay said FPD had no issues with Native Son in general. So I think that because they're already doing that sort of delivery system, and because it's most likely not an issue with the state, that maybe we should just start rethinking the way we treat those delivery areas.
I don't know at this point because we're trying to be consistent. We've got even some newer applicants where we've really insisted on having that.
Right, but we're also progressing in how we deal with the marijuana industry, and I think that a lot's changed since we've started some of these. And I think, like I said, they've been doing it this way already. So it's, I mean, aside from there is going to be another door.
We're adding another one, so that's the other aspect. So there is that. So now there's two different locations where we're having an unsecured area.
I didn't receive any department comments on this.
Well, it's kind of hard to say what's happening from the plan. This is why
I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. So, because that would probably bring up to FPD and ask them about that specifically. And so we've done that. So, I realized that I don't have I have no qualms ever about the conversion aspects at all. It's just more of the security pieces on that we just need to go over and make sure we've got all the departments on board with that when we know what's exactly going on.
Yeah, I think the time has proven to us to be unnecessary. Fitchburg Police is good with the way they're handling it now. Captain LeMay went so far as to say that they've been very good to deal with and that there haven't been issues. And they already have the same type of delivery system outside. I see it as exceptionally minor.
Because I want to.
If I may.
Exactly.
Right, but again,
Yes, I want to make sure we have buy-in from the departments. I know we've been about Captain LeMay. I want to make sure that it's clear, though, that we're talking about new distribution unsecured areas here.
Well, it's still going to be a secured area.
So it's
If I may.
not in the summary, though, or the narrative, about that aspect. So when you're looking at your comment on the plan, you're just going to make sure what you're commenting on, so that they are actually okay with that aspect as well. Just want to confirm that.
Okay.
That's really where I'm coming from with that. So, and if that's going to be something that the board is going to be looking at for like a future change, or it's going to be case by case, that's how we're looking at it. But to date, we have required secured areas on the outside, so it's got to be screened, screened, but at least fenced in. And would that really be an imposition to actually fence in a particular an area?
I think there are considerations just beyond a fence in that this is like a car coming and going. So if we need like a mechanical, I just don't know what the board is envisioning when you say it needs to be done behind a fence.
Well, just outside the door where the transition occurs, sometimes it's like a garage where you actually pull in where the transition occurs, or it's just a secured area outside where it occurs. So it's just like a fenced in parking area.
I can show you some of the existing facilities that have them. This one's gonna be tough to see, but let me see if I can get on the other side of the street here.
I would like to specify, that this entire space will be outfitted with all the same access control, security, cameras, burglary alarms, motion detection devices that are in there currently and, and required for operating the space with the Cannabis Control Commission.
So
I think as part.
So this is 644 River. It's hard to see because it's down the street, but this is their secure loading area. And then I can go to 1 Oak Hill Road because you'll be able to see that.
I think the beauty of our site is that this location that we're considering can't be seen from, I think, any right of way in the town.
The back one can't, but the front one can. So that's the loading area, right? For 1 Oak Hill. Yeah, that's the loading area for 1 Oak Hill Road. Yeah.
It's just not pulling up to a loading dock area, walking out and putting it into the vehicle.
I'm sorry.
At this point, we still have man doors and things going in for secure personnel going in and out. So that's also just another security aspect regarding this industry. Sensitive to.
I apologize for not understanding. I guess the security equipment will be all the same, like all the security and delivery protocols and procedures that we operate using right now in terms of, having randomized, but, mutually verified delivery schedules with the, various facilities that we're shipping to and from currently.
I mean, this might have also been a miscommunication, like Paula had said, I think if
We were talking about fencing, about when we eliminated the fencing, it was like understood, it was the fencing that was along the hillside going down like towards the high school, like on the hillside fencing, not eliminating a fencing that would be like security for the perimeter of the building.
Well, what I was going to say, I talked to Captain LeMay, and Captain LeMay does the reviews for these. But just like I didn't know, he probably didn't know that there was going to be another door to the rear of the building. So it's kind of, if it wasn't in your narrative, there was no way for us to know. As a matter of fact, unless the question came up in conversation, we probably wouldn't have known that was going to be there. And while I somewhat agree with what you're saying, Charlie, I agree with Paula that maybe we should probably give FPD the benefit of the doubt and at least tell them, hey, did you know there's going to be a new delivery to the rear of this building? And is that okay? Because that is definitely something that probably should have been brought up originally when in the narrative, like we're adding a new unsecured delivery door. But this is the site.
So I have no issue with working with the Captain LeMay and the rest of the Fitchburg Police Department on this.
Awesome.
Just do again want to specify this door will be secured like all of our other overhead doors, according to Cannabis Control Commission spec and Fitchburg Police Department spec.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, but you're talking about the security of the door. We're talking about the security of the transfer of the product.
Okay, I understand now. I apologize. I didn't understand that distinction.
But I also personally, without speaking for the board, I agree that we haven't had issues with a lot of these facilities, so maybe we start treating them like manufacturing facilities. But that's a much bigger conversation that we'll have to have as a board to see if the rest of the board agrees with that. That doesn't have to be today either, because if Paula wants FPD to talk about that.
Well, I really want to get their input on that particular, because maybe it's just beefing up some security cameras, or is there anything in lieu of, or that they feel comfortable with? So. And it's not like, I don't think that you wouldn't accommodate whatever request is there, but we do have to ask the question and see what they're comfortable with doing before we approve the site plan. Does the board have any?
I'm a little confused because it says in the, I don't know, the decision I just looked at from 2019, it says everything that Paula just talked about where, you know, all your business is supposed to go on behind closed doors. So I don't understand why it's a surprise now that there's no fence at this delivery spot. I mean,
We did
I think the whole perimeter at once was going to be fenced. There was a modification of removing the fence.
but it says everything is supposed to happen inside,
Yes,
like.
right, so it would be driving in like in and then not out, not having.
Having showed on the
outside.
Oak Hill.
So otherwise, it's like some type of secured or fenced in area where it's some kind of a secure area where the transition was going.
I don't have the plan from the modification. I have the modification here in 2018. And it doesn't say anything about getting rid of fencing or getting rid of fenced in areas. It says, oh, you want to see it on the screen? Sorry. It says, modify the site plan to include revised parking layout, additional impervious area and stormwater management measures, additional HVAC unit and chillers next to the building, dumpster pad and enclosures, bollards and landscaping. So again, I don't have the plan in front of me. If the plan, I assume the plan changed because it references stormwater. So I don't have the plan then, but I was under the impression all of our facilities did have, fenced in receiving areas for, deliveries and transfer of product, but.
Not only fenced in, but inside, like the vehicle pulls in when you load it. Drives away. Like,
Someone we've done fenced in.
you wouldn't even know there was anything going on there kind of situation. So I'm kind of surprised to see this now. I realize it's not what we're supposed to be talking about,
The
but
2018 one? Yeah, 2018, 17. It's on this side, right now.
The special permit decision I was referencing in regard to the perimeter security fence. I have a stamped copy from July 13th, 2022. That was approved, it looks like, in June 2022.
So I have an extension in February of 22, which is this one.
I remember a conversation about that.
Oh, right here, permit condition 4, Native Sun is requesting removal of special permit condition requiring installation of perimeter security fence. And then the decision was on February 22nd, 2022, removal of special permit condition requiring installation of perimeter security fence, provided this is reviewed and agreed by both Montauk School Superintendent and Fairfield Police.
I know they did that though. It was really, I would say, at least I recall in my mind, it was presented as this is like a perimeter fence along the whole backside of pretty much like the building, why it's all woods and with the great elevation between that and the high school, it's really not necessary. So we didn't really see that as necessary. However, that doesn't mean that any deliveries outside shouldn't be still secured areas, not that you needed one around the entire building or, or fencing on the back down the slope. I don't think that came across.
I mean, this leads to the next question of did FPD approve of that condition, and were they aware that the removal of that condition meant that
Right.
product was going to be
So
transported in the open?
Right.
additional clarification I'd like to make is that the proposed receiving area is at grade and I believe is sized to allow a van to come all the way into the proposed receiving area.
Can both of them? Can they pull in? They pull into the
Additionally,
building at both sites? At both?
Additionally, at the existing location where deliveries are made, the overhead door is sized to accommodate a Sprinter van. There, I believe the building department made us put bollards in front of those doors, or perhaps the police department made us put bollards in front of those doors. So there are bollards in front of those doors, which is why we've been loading the way we have. And I think if you do look at a street view of the location, you can see there's a row of cars that are parked and they stick out about, not even as far as the HVAC and the dumpster paddock that we have. And the Sprinter vans are going to a space that's, in a little bit further from there. So I just wanted to, provide these clarifications.
Yeah, no, that's very helpful. Let me pull up the street scene.
If the deliveries of in the loading could be done all interior, that would solve the issue.
Well, we could.
So-
Well, I would have to be able to remove them all. That would be part of the condition of being able to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Why they're there in front of the door that.
So let me make a suggestion. So we make a suggestion that we go through the site plan approval modification, subject to one of two things. Either that all product be handled and loaded into vehicles in the interior of the building, or that the areas on the outside of the building are appropriate to Fitchburg Police's specifications, whether it be screening or.
I think we need to know that for the site plan though.
So if there's screening we needed to show on the site plan, but my point is, because it can be inside the building, if we can say the permanent condition is, they can easily do this if they.
How about we say it all to be done in the building, they have to come back with a modified site plan.
If it's not, that's fine with me. Yeah, it's fine with me. And at the very least, the new door would be, that's easily internal because there's no bollards there. And FPD, presumably FPD is already okay with their existing operation, at least the new door would be required to be all loaded on the interior of the building.
Is that something, Charlie, could look at?
I mean, of course, we were willing and able to do, whatever is needed of us. I think that, it would be great if we could consult with Fitchburg PD and get their input on the matter. I think that would. Do you
want to talk to them in the next month and then iron that out and come back to us?
Can we also iron it out?
Yeah, we would. I would verify. Yeah, like I said, I talked to the chief and to Captain May today about these things on our agenda, but this was kind of. I don't know if he saw that, and I certainly didn't know that there was another door back there.
Aren't they contacted in the form of intent process and in the building permit process?
I'm sorry, say that again?
My apologies. Wouldn't the police department be notified and have access to the plans via the form of intent?
But the point, Charlie, is you can't tell that door's there unless you told someone that door's there. I've looked at this plan 3 times over the last 2 months. You can't tell that there's a new delivery door there unless you wrote a narrative saying, by the way, we're adding a new delivery door all the way in the back of the site in a very secluded area, and it's not going to be screened or fenced. There's no way to know that unless you told us that.
Okay. The narrative does say that generally the renovation scope will require installing new doors, a receiving area in warehouse 1, and it continues on from there. So I apologize that wasn't
that's
clear.
the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Are you trying to insinuate that they had their chance at it? Because
I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm just trying to present what we presented. And
if there was an elevation and you saw the receiving area, are the security cameras all on that plan for that rear loading dock?
The security for the entire space is like specified to the CCC standard. So the existing like infrastructure will be augmented, to accommodate what we're looking to do in these spaces. So certain cameras that, would cover, currently the spaces are empty boxes. So putting walls up, adding doors requires augmenting the security system. And we'd be required to maintain the same standard with the Cannabis Control Commission that we are for every space we operate in this facility, where there's clear sight lines of what everyone is doing at all times in all locations.
Yeah, the FPD would also have to approve the security revisions in that area.
I apologize. Does your drawing set only have 2 pages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That explains the lack of information that you have at this time.
I got them on for both of them. That's what I could find, Charlie, at the time.
Okay. I apologize for the misunderstanding.
No, and I feel bad too. It's, it's not the type of thing, like, I don't want to hold you up, especially because, I think I've already made it clear, like me personally, Charlie, I think that the idea of what you're doing is very minor. Up until Paula said that, until you guys talked about that, I assume that deliveries and the receiving door you were talking about was the existing receiving door, because my thought process was, well, everything's going to come and go from the same spot. So, maybe, again, it was just miscommunication, and I don't want to hold you up, but at the same time, we should at least ask the police if they're okay with this, and they're good with, especially because that's a very secure, there's woods behind there. Granted, there's a huge hill, but there's no fence back there since that was taken out with the last special permit condition. That's a very secluded area, and we just want to probably make sure that FPD's okay with that understanding.
Yeah, well, it'd also be the rest of the board too.
Right. Well,
We were looking but it could all be solved if whether or not you could just also remove the bollards and just do all of the transitions in the interior by both loading docks.
it certainly would be in keeping with our existing facilities if you loaded everything in a secured area. And by secured area, we don't mean like an area covered by cameras. You mean an area where no one else but your employees can get to.
Right. It's a locked, locked area, secured in that manner. Okay. That being said, we can continue this.
Are we within appropriate timeframes, given this is a minor site plan?
It's the first, so yes, we
Right, but isn't it from initial application?
90 days, so this is
Okay.
only the first one. So
Okay.
you're allowed, there's certainly one continuance without exceeding it. It used to be 60, so the second one was always a little bit issue. We extended it to 90, so now we got more leeway even for a second continuance. For that.
Right, but you have the stamp date on that, Chantal? The reason why I ask is this came in before our last meeting.
That's okay, we still have 90 days.
It's 90 days from when we get it, and our next meeting is more than 30 days from now. So it's already been 60 days.
I stamped it on the, well,
Oh, September? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Good for checking. Good for checking. So I offer that. The only other thing that would be have to condition it that it all, even from X forward, it's like within X days. It's like all deliveries have to be done interior. I'm not sure whether or not you can accommodate that at this time, so.
Are you saying you want that to be a condition from now on? Even if Fitchburg Police is good with?
Yeah,
The way that they're operating?
potentially dealing with fencing and stuff, because then that is a very big change from what all of our conditions have been.
So if that's the case, we should take a board consensus on what we feel about that, because
We're not all here at the board though, so.
But what I'm saying is, if we tell them to come back next month and FPD says the outside deliveries are fine, and you say it's not, I say it is, whatever, as long as FPD is good with it, I'm good with it. So we should at least take a straw poll of the board to see what the majority
Do
believes.
that right now, but
But so what's going to happen? They come back next month and FPD says it's fine, and then we start the debate over again and we continue it another month?
Well, if the bollards are in front of the door, they cannot.
They're gonna do it right now, so they have to see if they can do that.
And if the.
So what you're saying is you don't care what FPD says. You want the stuff inside no matter what. That's what you're saying.
I like to see what they say, but also it's an ordinance pretty much about conducting everything interior. So that is a big change. And it's from every permit that we've done this far, even on the other one on Oak Hill as well, the newer one facility. So just because they're being good neighbors doesn't mean they should be exempt from it. So if they can actually accommodate it on the interior right now, that's fantastic because that would just solve the issue. They wouldn't have to do fencing, but if they can't, we're gonna have to come up with what can be done. So we want Charlotte.
They said they're gonna do it.
Doing that.
Right, well, then, so they are in compliance with their permit. They are in compliance with their permit, Amanda, because we removed the perimeter fence from the original permit decision. So that's not a question. Right now, the outside delivery is not in violation of our permit approval.
Well, it is
Because we removed that permit condition.
But we didn't remove the fence, we didn't remove an unsecure area.
But does it say that on any of the, I don't see it on any of the site plans, a fenced in area from prior
It's not
approval.
about
That's the whole perimeter, that's why.
Okay, but
So that was,
All right.
there was a maybe again, it was not clear when we moved the entire perimeter fence that also included the delivery areas.
Number
Okay, we thought it was
18.
more of a perimeter of just separating parcels, so to speak, because there's so much wood and wood thing.
This is my part, this is the thing. All aspects of the use/facility relative to the acquisition, cultivation, possession, processing, sales, distribution, dispensing, or administration of marijuana products containing marijuana-related supplies or educational materials must take place at a fixed location within a fully enclosed building and shall not be visible from the exterior of the business. Like,
does it say, I missed in there, does it say the actual transfer of product?
it says every single thing that you could possibly say.
Okay.
Acquisition,
Yeah, so what it's saying is you can't make or grow a product outside of the building, that I get.
sales, distribution,
Yeah,
distribution,
okay,
dispensing, administration of.
okay. Yeah, so again, I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just saying that we'll hear from FPD and then we can figure out, is it a problem or are we overthinking this? That's all I'm saying.
Well, so here's my issue is, and it keeps happening,
Yeah.
is the problem, is that the things that we continue to look at and vote on and pass and agree on, we find out later it doesn't matter and it's not being adhered to. So it doesn't matter anymore whether it works or not. What matters to me is the principle of it. Like, here we all are looking at things and trying to figure out the best thing to do and the best way to make things happen. And then we find out 5 years later that nobody's doing what we said we were going to do. So it just calls into question the validity of the board and the amount of hours that we put in every month
Sure.
on these things.
So let's get feedback. Step one and take it from there. And also, in the interest of a resolution as well, the applicant can look at seeing whether or not they can actually just do it on the interior. That would just make this go away in this instance. So whether they can remove the bollards and why the bollards they begin with, but if they need access to the interior to do that, then hopefully that can be done. That's it. But, so I would prefer to continue it till we get those answers. Again, we're not saying we're not working, we want to work with you to get to the point. We have no objection to what you want to do with the interior stuff. We just need to resolve the delivery areas.
I understand to a degree. Obviously, in the moment, I'm hoping for an approval every time I come before the board. I just would like to clarify, is there like additional documentation that would be helpful for us to provide, either to you, to the police, to any authority in town?
Yes, provide to the, of course, FPD is going to look at any other security revisions. So when you just mentioned like those 4 rooms, it's like they previously would have gone over what your security was for the building. So now they should be looking at that. But you need to clearly identify where your transition areas are here, because it's not clear at all on the plans where your access points are and delivery points are. And again, please explore, the new area you said you could actually pull in. So that should be a non-issue on that side, and see what you can do about on the rear of the property for your current delivery area for the product.
Charlie, because I'm sure you know the regulations better than anyone, and this is just a curiosity question. The CCC has no problem with transferring product from personnel to vehicle in open air with, nothing but security cameras?
The CCC, has licensed multiple facilities that I've been a part of that make deliveries in this way. I can't speak to what they license at every facility. And obviously every municipality is different, but I can speak from my personal experience at multiple marijuana establishments over the years that have conducted deliveries in the manner that I discussed earlier. The CCC typically, when they arrive for on-site inspections, will look at the camera footage of recent deliveries. So I have conducted footage review of deliveries conducted in this manner with Cannabis Control Commission agents. Everyone's experience, I guess, with the Cannabis Control Commission may differ, but in my personal experience, it has been approved to conduct deliveries this way.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that things can't be updated. It's just that we just got to go through a bit of a process.
Alex had his hand raised a minute ago. I don't know if he still has a question.
Is Alex?
I don't know.
No, Paul, you kind of asked the same question I was looking for. I was wondering what the CCC's stance was on this.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Well, it's trying to also take a look. It's like we have actual grow facilities and security there, and we have a little bit different when we're dealing with retail. We have, maybe it has to do with also the quantity of that, where the retail facilities actually get stocked because they're coming into like the front door, very visible areas.
I will say the Cannabis Control Commission strongly prefers delivery areas that are concealed from public right of way, which I think, thankfully we're able to execute at this location and our dispensary locations. But yeah, I've had, similar delivery review at dispensary locations in addition to cultivation locations.
Probably also potential for diversion.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I said, I'm sure it includes the potential for diversion, product diversion.
Yes, the Cannabis Control Commission is very passionate about, as we are, controlling, monitoring, reporting, and acting on any instances of diversion. We have dedicated policies, across our cultivation, product manufacturing, and retail facilities, and training that goes into anti-diversion policies.
Okay. Do you have any further questions? But I think it's an approved, a site plan that's got the delivery locations, but also you can have a separate plan for FPD review even before us about what you're doing for security on the interior, so they can feel comfortable with that. Are the number of employees staying the same or similar? So is there a change in the parking requirements?
So with the focus on automated technologies to execute these processes, I believe, and I'll make sure that, this is documented in the plan set, but I believe that we would stay within the same occupancy threshold of our zone.
Okay.
So I suppose just to clarify, probably a good idea at some point in the next, week or two, touch base with FPD, expressly bring up to them, it was mentioned at the planning board meeting that there's a new, exterior open distribution door or delivery door, and to make sure that they give their opinion specifically on that, aside from,
And the existing one.
like I said, we talked in general about building security and, their policies. And I can tell you for certain that Captain LeMay was satisfied with how Native Son works. So it's really predominantly a question about that rear door, just to bring their attention. Hey, by the way, it was noted that you might not have picked up on this, but there's another exterior door that's to the rear of the site. It faces the wooded area that faces Monty Tech. Is that okay? How does FPD feel about that?
Picture, we caught it with Blue Botany after the fact, so it's about sweet.
Right, I'm telling him what to talk to the police about, so that he knows, the conversation they should have.
And then you also think about a potential resolutions to that being, it's like, no, if it should be further secure that, yes, you can actually pull a vehicle in, so that could resolve that, or you could add a small gated area around the delivery doorway. Particularly maybe on the existing one, if you can already pull in on the new one, maybe the other one just needs small fence or just around the small parking area.
Understood.
So much looking for. Is that it? What do you explore? Anything else?
Well, I'm very interested to hear what Captain LeMay says about the issue. But my main concern is that we be consistent with all people that are in this business and not give anybody any special treatment over another. It seems to me that the site has a number of doors and a number of options. And if they have to put a fence around that one, let it be. And that's just, to me, that's a very simple solution to the problem.
Is that enough, Charlie, information?
Yes, indeed. I greatly appreciate everyone's commentary, feedback. I appreciate everyone making time for us this evening, especially Chantel for helping to facilitate. We'll follow up with the police department as soon as possible, as well as with Chantel. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Let's make a motion to.
Make a motion to continue.
A motion made to continue with a
Second.
And roll call vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say opposed. Amanda?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
Okay. Great. We are now into public hearings. The first item on our agenda, we have AG Dreamflip LLC proposing to build multifamily PUD of 9 units at 0 Fairmount Street that has continued from our August meeting and is seeking another continuance to
I pulled it up on the screen.
next meeting. I hope that they're prepared for this.
So our next planning board meeting is October 22nd. I make a motion to continue to October 22nd.
Motion's been made with the second to continue to our next meeting, October 22nd. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say opposed. Amanda?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
All right. Our next item is special permit and site plan review modification 2021-11. A applicant network building and consulting agent for Dish Wireless requesting a modification for an existing rooftop wireless tower where additional equipment is being proposed that exceeds the threshold of site requirements located at 76 Summer Street in the RC district.
Awesome. Let me pull up, I think there's some information in here. Is there anything particular that you want up on the screen or just whatever we were given with our application? So I have,
Plans off of.
yeah, so I have pictures.
Okay.
I have the pictures of the site, lease agreement, decision from 2022, and then the site plan. Do you want the site plan maybe? Is there anything that'll be helpful?
The drawings, I can tell you what page. First of all, I'm Kristen Leduc from MBNC on behalf of Dish Wireless here tonight. For the installation of Dish Wireless's wireless antennas at 76 Summer Street, on the modification of T-Mobile's existing special permit. So it would be the A3 page of the drawings.
Everything.
That's the picture. What they're planning and proposing to do, and possibly the A1.
Let me stop the share and try.
So I don't think the first, that's the administrative step, and you're not the only one who maybe missed this, but you're looking to modify a permit that the permit has to be recorded to be in effect first.
Okay.
And you don't see that it's recorded in the registry of deeds.
For the original one,
Permit needs to be recorded
for T-Mobile.
to be effective. And you're asking for a modification.
Yes.
It's not effective yet.
Okay.
So we're just trying to, I mean, we couldn't find it.
So it's possible. Things-
Sorry, I would have,
But we can't.
Okay.
Locate it.
Okay,
So we can't technically modify something that's not.
Summer.
Yeah.
okay.
How
So
long ago was that decision? I'm gonna search right now as we're talking to see, try one more time.
the T-Mobile goes back to like,
So I have one in 2000, 21, 2014.
yes, I think the 2014 would be.
Hold on. So there's a couple in 2014. Let me see what I can find here. So here's,
This is 2021-11, but that should be.
Modified.
I don't understand. I'm gonna see if I can find this decision now.
the last one was from 2021.
On T-Mobile. Let's see.
The last modification.
2021?
Yeah.
So that one.
And that's been recorded.
It has, okay.
Oh, that's been,
I don't
No,
know.
that's what we can't find it.
That's what we're looking to modify tonight.
Well, it's not,
Okay.
I don't know if it's a it's not a modification. This is the permit.
It's the special permit.
It's 2021-11, granted.
the special permit for T-Mobile would have gone back before then.
Yeah, and this is a new permit on the site. It was done in 2021. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So it says right in the note on the back page, no special permit or any modification,
Can I see that?
renewal shall take effect until a copy of the decision has been sorted. So we just gotta.
So that's so interesting. Because we filed under the Eligible Facilities Act, which is, we call it 6409 letter, which allows the placement of wireless antennas on an existing site that already houses wireless, which this site had Sprint and T-Mobile. That would have obtained a special permit, both of them
Well,
previously. And that would make it an eligible facility.
we're not saying it's not eligible.
Oh, no, but for the special permit, so they would have had to file, Sprint and T-Mobile would have had filed a special permit.
That was filed. It says they granted to the applicant T-Mobile and its subsidiary. The use of these wireless facilities by any other wireless communication shall be subject to planning board review and approval. So it was granted to them in 2020.
The problem is it just haven't made it to the registry of
It
deeds.
just hasn't made it to the registry. We're saying you have a special permit, but we can't modify
You
it
can still record it.
until it's recorded.
Um,
Because it's not effective yet.
Right, but I don't represent T-Mobile or that special permit. So we're just modifying the building as a whole from the special permit, is my understanding. So when I went and I applied for the building permit for this wireless facility modification to include Dish Wireless, I was instructed to come here for the modification of the special permit for the wireless for the whole building.
Because it's the height. It's really, you're really here because it's the height,
Right.
because you're going taller. Right?
Right. And now to my other question, well, I had another
If you
question.
weren't going any taller, you wouldn't need to modify it.
well, it would have been by right. And I read down through when I read the regs, it's further down, it says if it's within 15 feet, but then the wireless was for 5 feet, but if it's concealed, which ours is, it was by right. So I was kind of, like, I had this discussion with the building inspector as well. So let me back up a little bit. So Dish Wireless had applied for a building permit for this installation back in, I think, 2022 or early 2023, which the building inspector at the time granted that permit. Unfortunately, Dish Wireless could not get their materials ordered and ready to go.
Okay.
So that building permit did expire. We tried to renew it, and it's under the same exact pretense of what it was when I reapplied for the building permit. The building permit and the building inspector now said this was the course of action that we needed to take under the guidance of the planning board.
Okay.
So that's how I come to this.
Saying that you shouldn't be.
No,
here.
I know, but I don't,
It
we don't, Dish doesn't have a special permit, is what I'm saying.
doesn't matter that it's Dish. It
Okay,
doesn't matter
who it is, okay.
You're seeking
I
a
gotcha.
height. Or you're coming before us, we don't really matter who it is.
Okay,
It's not granting it to Dish. It's, since we already granted a permit to T-Mobile, its subsidiary.
Okay.
People to be mounted on the pole.
Right.
We don't give a permit to every different,
area. Oh,
area on the pole.
oh, okay, okay,
Here's, it's specifically because you're exceeding the height now.
Okay.
Further.
okay.
Why it has to be-
Okay, so they do, okay, yes.
That's all.
No, okay, I guess
That's how
that,
I was, that's how we're seeing it. If
Okay.
somebody else is seeing it.
no, that's perfectly explained. I was just kind of caught on the special permit and the T-Mobile end of it, so,
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter who the carrier is, it's just if
Okay.
you're going up. So if you didn't go any higher, then.
Right, the 5
you have to
feet.
Modify the permit, but because you're going higher,
okay,
we have to modify it to allow the pole to go high.
okay. But when there's no special permit
I,
for it, so.
But if it's not recorded, then your, the original permit, man, how many carriers, it's not
But how did
effective yet.
they?
We should
how
have
did-
not gotten a building permit.
Oh,
So that the building
Yeah,
permit
sure,
should have
that-
been in place.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then.
I understand.
It's a common issue where special permits don't get recorded.
Correct.
It causes problems when we have to modify or extend or change a special permit, like in this case, where that permit, in order to be valid, has to be recorded. So in order for us to change a permit, it has to be recorded and valid.
Right.
So that it's usually just a general hurdle. I mean, we've talked about this with other co-locations. The co-locations generally don't matter. I mean, in this case, obviously we got to deal with the height because it's much taller than the building, because this is the one particularly on top of that.
Correct.
And I can't pull it up because every time I try and share it, for whatever reason, the screen freezes.
So what are we
and I
actually
don't know why.
looking at for the change in height? That why?
So the alpha sector in the back is approximately 10 feet tall, and I believe the height is 5. So when you look at the plans, so Sprint was here originally, and this is exactly how we were taking over the Sprint space. So they have subsequently left this building. The circular front mount, which was existing with Sprint, has been removed, but the bottom, all the infrastructure still remains. So we are proposing just to simply put back how it looked like when Sprint was there. And then in addition, build the concealment in the back up 10 feet to in-house the alpha sector of the antennas.
It's so weird. It just keeps going back to
What's
the
the,
frozen screen.
oh,
And it keeps bringing me back to the same image every time I start sharing. I don't know why. I've never had that happen before. We've done this 1,000 times. Let's see. Yeah, it's exactly back to the same screen. Let me shut down everything here and
it says
kind
proposed Dish Wireless 3 feet by 6 feet. No. Concealment on existing tripod, that's the housing. What's the height there? Oh, there it is. 8 feet 11 inches.
yeah, the concealment.
You can see it on
becomes that,
that,
yeah,
and the roof
exactly.
level is still below that. Oh, it's this 10 feet.
Yeah.
Proposed dish wireless 10 by 6 by 3.
I apologize to the people that are here trying to see this. I'm trying
I'm
to.
trying to look at one of the plan. I'm looking at a site.
No, I'm talking to the people in the audience that want to see this. I'm trying to pull it up, but if you bear with me, I'm just restarted everything.
Site plan, page 3 of 24. I'm trying to see if that's giving us the information.
Exact same thing. Exact same image, like oh.
Is it on yours or can we?
I'm gonna see if there's something up here. No, and
Yeah, I see the construction document here is dated June of 2022.
Yeah.
So like you said, no change.
So there was no change to the proposal and the placement. And in the time that we came back to it, Sprint has left. They were already non-functioning. So they had taken their equipment down. And then the building inspector instructed us to, for the 10-foot, and that's where we are.
Please more than 5 feet vertically from the roof where it is mounted or in a casement slab rating 5 feet vertically. Just get a special permit. So,
And then if it,
it was already granted a special permit. And
it's completely concealed, so, the by right, that's where, that interpretation had come into place where everything was concealed and built to paint to match and designed, so it doesn't look like just the antennas are on the roof. And the reason why it has to be so high, the 10 feet, is because T-Mobile and Dish, they need a 40-foot separation. So that sector has to be 10 feet to be shooting away from the T-Mobile to not cause any interference. So.
Okay. Proposed dish wireless. Oh, okay. Is it? So it's not on the existing actually pole, it's a new
Yes,
structure, so to speak.
the back one, the 10-foot one will be a new pipe mount and enclosed in.
Okay. For those in our virtual world, I'm on the site plan and I'm on.
are you logged in? Can I try and share your screen?
Sure.
Let's see if it's, I
That works.
want to see if it's my computer. I don't think it is, but. No, yours too. No idea.
Share the screen.
And it might be because this document is so huge. Because I can, as a matter of fact, let me try and share this.
Something else?
Yeah.
Picture of site.
Yeah, from the.
I can take a screen cap if I can take a screen cap of it if this works. No, even the minutes ago, it shows up on my thing. Alex, what are you looking at right now?
I'm seeing.
No, I mean, like,
document.
what's on the screen?
On the screen is the planning board sheet.
Is it our agenda?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you can see, okay, you can see it, but it's just not up there. All right. So right now,
You see a diagram of a building right now?
hold on.
Yep. I see that right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like the building layout with all
So
the notes.
I can change it here then. That's just a view here, I think.
Good job, Tom.
Alex is watching me switch back and forth 100 different times.
That's chair/IT.
Yeah, it's not working very well though.
Well, it's, I mean, you're up there, so.
Because it should show my screen. It says right here, showing my screen, but I can't.
There.
I'll try that. Sorry, I just need the, what's that?
In the mouth, yeah. Should work. Is that all your?
What's that?
Are you still on yours?
No, this is the main.
So I forgot our meeting
You
was
guys,
up here tonight.
I'm listening. I'll get this going.
I did too. I was like, well,
It was empty though.
right.
So why,
Nobody was in there when I was.
why couldn't we do
I
that?
think there was another meeting starting at like 7, like little.
Oh, later.
We didn't have a quorum.
Oh, they didn't, okay.
Which meeting was it?
Human Rights Commission.
Oh, okay. They have finance committee now for 7.
Oh.
Well, I'll just say the 2021 permit.
They didn't have one.
Thank you.
No, that was not. That was not. In fact, we could make that full screen too, but I don't want to mess with it right now. Let's just deal
So
with
what's
this.
the narrative? Let's see that we're approving here.
So this is for those that haven't seen it, this is the side elevation of the building. Or actually, this is the front elevation of the building, right?
What does help for us is that if there is a short narrative, because it's like you're asking a modification to. Otherwise, it's just like, can you detail that?
So they all show on this image. It all says proposed dish wireless. So there's all this.
Right, what we're seeing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to give a brief summary of
Sure.
what these are?
Yep, so the highlighted one, well, darker ink ones are what Dish Wireless is proposing on the front top penthouse there. That will include, that sector has 2 wireless antennas in there. The antennas below there are existing T-Mobile antennas. And then if you move to the back to the left where it's highlighted in a little darker shading, that will house the alpha sector, will have 1 antenna in a 10-foot concealment, painted brick to match the building, along with the concealment on top of the penthouse as well.
Okay.
And behind that penthouse, there's a lease area. It will house the radios and all of that good stuff. And it's only 5 by 7, and they just drop a platform on there.
And the highest one, the one that shows on top, is 3 foot by 6 foot. Is that what it says?
Correct. And that is the exact footprint that Sprint has recently vacated.
So those heights already existed with the Sprint locations?
Not the one in the back. That's new.
Right. But the highest point, it already exists.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. The
So
Sprint,
the highest location that's already on the building already exists then?
yes.
Okay.
So Sprint was there and they have now defunct and they've moved on. They have now subsequently, they've taken that down, but we had proposed in 2022 to just come in and attach our antennas, because that's what the Dish people, they do. They just take the infrastructure, because we didn't want to really reinvent the wheel. The only problem is because T-Mobile was there, so we had to build that 10-foot screen wall, or it's not even, it's a large chimney in the back to not interfere with T-Mobile up front.
So because, and this is for the board, so because the max height already is pre-existing, I do understand that there's some height characteristics of these new parts that protrude above the building, but not higher than the highest point that's already on there. My suggestion is, and
I guess I'm confused by that because it says it's a proposed Dish Wireless, but that says on existing tripod.
right, because there was a Sprint one on there that they took off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be we approve this based on these plans. And it would be subject to recording the permit, but I would suggest that we don't sign the permit until the permit's been recorded, the original permit's been recorded.
Yes.
And then that kind of solves all those issues. Permits recorded. These are already up there. It's really not, not anything that's, anything substantive. So I think that's the easiest way to do this.
Now, back to the original permit with T-Mobile or whoever was first. Would I be able to record that could I get a certified, could I get a certified copy and I'll be happy to record it and
Certified copy from the city clerk's office.
Perfect.
And then you bring it right across the street and record it.
Awesome.
Yeah, registry's right over there.
Oh, perfect. I can do all that. I just didn't know who was like, if I had to, find my old colleagues from T-Mobile and see.
If you need to, what I'll do is I'll scan the decision I have and send it to you.
Okay.
And then you'll at least have that as a reference to go to the city clerk so they can look it up.
That would be perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, should be a copy there's a 20-day appeal period, so there'll be a signature or sign off that there's been no appeal.
Right. Correct.
That time frame, and then that's when you record.
Right. But that's
We're all just way
already
past this point, so if you're good to come.
I'll just record it. I mean,
Signature and date on it from back then.
yes.
My suggestion would be like this week, come down, get a copy and just run it over there.
Yeah.
And then tell Chantel, give her the book and the page and you'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
Because in our permit decision, we say at book and page recorded,
Yes.
modifying this.
Yeah.
So,
And then
Perfect.
when this gets signed, it's a special permit, so even a modification has to be appealed, it has to go through the appeal process, right? Even for modification. So once we draft it, which takes a little time, we'll draft it, they'll stamp it in the clerk's office, then we have the 20-day appeal period.
Okay.
After that, you have to record this one in the registry too.
Yeah, but record the first one first.
Yeah, that, as soon as possible.
I will be back.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Let's get that. Is everybody okay?
I'm fine,
Yes.
yeah.
Did you just want to see if there's any comments? It's probably.
Absolutely. And we'll look for any department comments.
You want to see if there's any public comment? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You want to ask this?
Oh. I thought you were looking for.
No. No one has the hand raised. I just want you to offer people the opportunity.
Yes, thank you. Anybody in the room can speak on this matter. Okay,
Or anyone virtual for that matter.
and now virtual.
Because we have three,
Sorry, I was looking-
that's okay. We have 3 attendees, but no hands raised, so you're good.
Okay. And do we have any department comments on this modification?
Not on this modification. The department comments I have gotten were from Brian Kim from engineering. And I think
It was actually about Steve Senes, but
yeah.
it was about being careful when he does the sewer line, which maybe Chantel can just send him an email, just forward him and say, yeah, and just say, hey, we forgot to mention this, be careful.
Yeah.
But he's not, he is doing sewer there because he's got that. So just let him know.
Okay.
That was just an FYI.
Sure, I can do that.
I'll make a
And
motion.
what's one other comment on another,
Let's talk about this part.
I'll just let you know.
All right, I can pull him up afterwards.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion's been made to close the hearing.
Okay.
All those in favor, yeah, with a second, thank you.
Amanda.
All those in favor say aye, all those opposed say opposed. Roll call vote, Amanda?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula, aye. Alex?
Aye.
Excellent.
Make a motion to approve the special permit and site plan modification of 2021-11, subject to the plans and information provided with the one condition, the special permit be recorded, both the new one and the old one, but the old one more as soon as possible.
Well, the original,
2021-11 needs to be recorded ASAP.
yes,
Second.
once it's done, it will no longer be a condition, so.
And that was Alex for a second, and that just reminded me, you might want to just mention who makes the seconds, because when I did the minutes the last time we were in this room, you couldn't hear who was making the same second. So Alex was the second one
What, on this,
on this one, the motion I just made, Alex was second.
anybody else, anything to add to that? Okay, a motion was made with the second. Roll call vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say oppose. Amanda?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula, aye. Alex?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very
Okay,
much. Sorry.
thank
to
you.
confuse you.
No, I apologize for my confusion. I do have one quick question on the appeal. Does your decision have to go again to the board, or do you just write it up and then when it's ready, I'll be notified that the 20 days is ticking and I can be ready for it? Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you.
Our next special permanent site plan review modification, however, I'm not sure if, the verbiage on this is from a 2004, it's T-Mobile LLC requesting a modification of an approval from 2004, an existing wireless telecommunications tower to add and upgrade equipment on the site at 259 High Rock Road in the RR district. Is there an applicant?
Any of our virtual attendees here for High Rock Road? Yep, he is. Adam, I just unmuted you. You can just press the microphone button.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. I'm just gonna give a brief summary of what T-Mobile's proposing here. So my name is Adam Wolfrey. I work for Centerline Communications. I'm the authorized agent for T-Mobile. T-Mobile is proposing to modify their equipment at the cell site located at 259 High Rock Road. Before I go into the scope of work, I just want to point out the work stays within the guidelines of the 6409 regulations. I think the previous applicant referenced that with their filing. And with that being said, we're not increasing the height of the antennas on the tower. We're not expanding the ground area of the cell site. But the proposed work involves removing 4 antennas and then installing 8 new antennas, removing 4 RRUs, and then installing 4 new RRUs, removing 4 hybrid cables, and then installing 4 new hybrid cables. Additionally, it involves removing 1 cabinet and then installing 2 cabinets and removing all the unused cables and equipment at this cell site. And the purpose of this work, a few years ago, T-Mobile and Sprint merged. And as a result, there's more traffic at this cell site. When I say traffic, there's more customers using the cell tower as a result of this merger. And the purpose of the modification is more of a capacity thing, just being able to handle more customers at this cell tower that is getting more traffic these days. As far as the drawing, I don't know if you guys want to bring it up.
Which one are you talking about?
The construction drawing.
So is it on? So I have on the screen right now, I have your plans, the Centerline Communication plans. And I'm on this. Can you see the site plan?
I can. If you want to go to page A6.
A6, 4, 5, SN1. I go A5 to SN1. S2. A5 is the last one. I don't have A6.
Yeah, it's A5. A5, sorry.
Oh, okay. There's A5.
So that kind of gives you a layout of the antennas on the tower. As I mentioned before, the height's not being changed. They're adding additional antennas to it. And with the total number of antennas, what's being proposed, that still does stay within the 6409 regulations, and it would be 12 total antennas. Anything beyond that would be outside the guidelines of the 6409 regulations.
Okay. Thank you.
So, and I don't want to speak for the board, that I really don't have any issues with any modifications to the existing tower. It's not changing the monopole itself, it's just changing what you're putting on it, as well as cabinets below it. Is that pretty much a synopsis there. However, so one of the, and this is more, it's a more of an administrative question that we have, is that there was no special permit that was issued. So for us to modify, because it was a summary judgment in court. So with this, so we can't, I believe we can't modify summary judgment from a court order. However, it's like we can do it if whether or not it's a, you know, new special permit, but there's nothing for us to modify at this point. And so we have a question, a legal question for the city's legal department to just ask about the proper procedure in order to process this request, since we can't modify, at least we believe we can't modify a judgment at this point.
I do, Adam, I do want to concur with all of that. We generally don't have any issues with either co-locations or changes to existing equipment or anything like that. This is like Paul had said, this is a question we had sent to legal. Just hope to get an answer from, to see, make sure we do it the right way, because this doesn't come up very often. In 2004 or whenever it was, the court made a judgment, and that's even before my time. I don't think either any of us were on the board. So it's just a question of just making sure that we're doing it the right way, and we just haven't got a response from legal yet. So I don't think we can go any further until we know what the right decision is for us.
It might be just a site plan or aspect, I don't know. So we're just kind of a little bit in a quandary with the procedure on this, because it's not actually not as straightforward as modifying a special permit that was issued. Special permits, we know we can modify, but not a summary judgment. So in lieu of that, we just want to know the correct course of action and what the process is request for you.
So I guess my question is, do you have an ETA on when the legal counsel will get back to you as far as what the next steps will be?
Well, I can speak on that, Adam. What I can hopefully do, we do have legal counsel come to our offices on Wednesdays, which is tomorrow. And even though this was emailed to her, I can pop my head in and see if I can get some sort of answer. She may not have something for me right away, but I can at least pop my head in and try to see where we're at with it.
Okay. Is there gonna, I guess when a decision is made and if you guys potentially approve the proposed work, is there gonna be a 20-day appeal period with this?
It depends what it is. So if the route is it has to be considered as a special permit, then there's a 20-day appeal period. If it's determined that it's just a site plan, then there's no appeal period. So it could be a major site plan just aspect versus a special permit, depending on if it changes anything in the summary judgment.
Okay, so then potentially I would have to come back for next month's hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
But we're just going to figure out the avenue of what it is.
Well, either way, you'll have to come back the next month's hearing, because we can't make a decision because we don't know what we're deciding.
We don't know what we're deciding on. In the interim, if you could, it's not clear on the. Could you, in the interim, provide us with a short summary of what you just pretty much said to us? It's like you're not changing the height. You're just removing, taking down 4 antennas and adding 8, and so on. So forth, just a minor summary of what the modifications would be.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? You went in and out.
Could you provide a narrative to the board regarding what the actual modifications are of, you mentioned you're not changing the height, you're just changing some of the antennas on there, some of the cabling, some of the control boxes.
So
just a short layman summary of what you're doing.
You're not changing the footprint much, or
Adam, they just want you to write up what you
Just
said.
write it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this, I believe in the 6409 letter that I sent at the very end, it kind of summarizes the work. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Is it eligible facilities request?
Yeah, I believe I sent a cover letter in, and that in the last part of the letter kind of summarizes the scope of work. Actually, I found it on my computer. Let me see here if I included that.
Well, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We can get moving. They gotta,
Yep.
we need an answer from legal before we do anything because we don't know what legal capacity we have here.
And maybe you
So-
do have that, it just wasn't uploaded to our materials, so we can double.
No, I just looked at it. I didn't include it. So what I will do is I'll revise the 6409 letter just to summarize the scope of work.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and it can be, I mean, it doesn't have to be super technical. It can be generic, just so that we, have something to go off of.
Sure.
All right, do you have any questions for us? I mean, I guess we're in search of answers.
No questions. I look forward to hearing back from you guys regarding what the legal department says.
Okay.
I mean, we should have directions so that at our next meeting, we can hopefully move forward with
Right, so
this.
that way we can reach out to you if there's another application you need to apply for, we'll get that to you.
Okay.
Once we know the route. Okay.
Let's
You don't have anything else? I mean, it is a hearing, so if there's anybody out there virtually,
Does anyone have public comment?
anybody in the room have a public comment?
No.
Okay. You'll seek to
Make a
continue
motion to continue to our October meeting.
with the second, that was by Amanda.
Thank you.
Roll call vote, all those in favor say aye, all those opposed say opposed. Amanda?
Nice.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Hi.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next special permit and site plan review modification. 2023-4, the applicant Speedy Cannabis requests an extension of the permit to renovate a building and operate a cannabis delivery service located at 339 River Street, in the commercial C district.
Is this Kyle?
Yes.
Alex, unmuted. You just press the microphone.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. Yes, good evening. My name is Kyle Sosby. I'm an attorney with Cable Fleischer and Sosby, and I'm here on behalf of the applicant Speedy Cannabis LLC. So the reason we're here today, this evening, is because the special permit for Speedy Cannabis on its terms expired 12 months after after 12 months, if the applicant had not reached commence operations, which they have not. At this point, Speedy Cannabis is still, essentially the problem is some financial constraints. And Speedy Cannabis is still gathering the funding to complete the renovations. And specifically, they're anticipating being granted a grant award from the State Social Equity Trust Fund, which should be doing their second round of funding any time now. And so the applicant is seeking to finish raising those funds before commencing the renovation, because the renovation will require shutting down the existing service and gas station at the location. So at this point, the applicant is asking the board to grant an extension of the special permit so that they have time to finish raising the funds and complete the renovations.
Were you aware that the permit's already expired?
I am aware of that. I mean, I understand that now. I wasn't. I realize it looks like the application for extension was filed maybe I think 15 days after it expired, I believe, because I think it was recorded on August 1st, 2023.
We don't,
No, that's when it was recorded in the registry of deeds, was filed with the clerk on July 11th.
yeah, it's the way the permit decision says, it says 1 year from the date of certification from the city clerk, which is July 11th, 2023. Okay.
I don't think we can extend it. It's expired.
And I know we don't, I know we haven't in the past, with expired permits.
What we said is you have to you have to submit a new permit, I mean, pretty much similar information, but
I mean, I suppose.
I guess
I mean, can you make the argument that the modification this is listed as a modification, that we are modifying that permit condition, not an extension of time, that we literally modify the permit condition to change, from 1 year of stamping to 2 years of stamping, or whatever the case would be.
it is in the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
Though that specific language.
Right. I certainly understand why it's in there. I'm just saying we can treat it as a modification. It may be, and I'm thinking out loud here, Paul. Maybe we treat it as a modification and we take condition 59A and we just modify it to say, 18 months within filing or 2 years within filing. That would be 2 years would be July 11th, 2025. Maybe that's just the cleanest way to do it.
What does it say we can actually modify an ordinance for that, though? I don't know. I mean, that's the language. That's the kind of the key. I know it wasn't like a site plan where we have a little more leeway. We need our legal team here with us this evening.
Seems that way.
Because I don't know that we can revive an expired one.
So it says, this is from the ME, it's 181-648, it's a termination modification. A special permit or site plan may be terminated due to violation of its conditions. In addition, a special permit or site plan approval shall terminate upon termination of those permit condition number 1 is failure of the permit holder to commence operations at the ME within 12 months of date of approval. That's in our ME language, 181-648.
Special M 848-6482, a special permit or site plan approval may be modified by the planning board after public hearing. No modification of permit or change of location. Expired.
It doesn't say anything other. It doesn't say other than can.
I guess it's kind of more, we have extended, we have extended these in the past. It's just the fact that it's before it's expired.
Right.
So once a special permit expires, it's like, what's the, my understanding is that you have to refile.
What
in the past.
For last time, too.
He wanted to explore the opportunity, the possibilities of keeping their existing uses there and doing all three: gas, service, and marijuana delivery. But that's not part of this anyway.
That wasn't an extension.
Right. This is just a request for an extension. That's not part of this conversation.
Guess I get them. I'm just saying, I don't know that we're gonna be able to find the answer.
Well, it seems if the permit's expired, how can you extend the permit that
It's already expired.
It doesn't.
It's like before we do it. So
I mean, the right time to ask for an extension is before it expires.
Right, so, but I'm gonna put this out there of, it's just something else we're gonna have to get some legal advice on. We can continue it because it's already expired.
Right.
So we can get the answer of, can we revive it, or does it have to just be applied for?
Right. It won't get any more expired in the meantime.
Right.
Make a motion to continue.
Second that motion.
Motion's been made with the second to continue. The second was by Peter. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say opposed. Amanda? Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paul, aye. Alex?
Aye.
So do you, I hope you understand the predicament that we're trying to resolve?
I certainly do. I was reading the bylaw you reference, or the ordinance you reference at the same time. I do understand the issue. I would certainly advocate for the board to revive it and extend it regardless of the termination. But I understand that the board is uncertain whether it has the authority to do so. So if I understand correctly, the board is going to seek legal counsel on this issue, and will this be on the next agenda?
Yes.
Mhm.
We'll be able
Okay.
to continue to our October.
22nd.
Yep, and before then, we'll have an answer for you.
Okay.
We'll reach out once we find the answer to that. And then also, what actually, a question is, what are you seeking, the length of the extension? Another year? It would be a year at a time.
I assumed it would be a year. If the board would entertain a longer extension, we would certainly agree to that.
Oh, it's like, we didn't know whether it's months versus a year.
No, I would ask for a year, please.
Okay. Okay. So we will get back to you, we'll explore that.
We've been doing this a long time. I think we've asked for legal 2 opinions in the last year, and there's three that we have tonight. So anyway. Yeah, it's some of these are just complicated issues.
Okay. Our next one is our special permit and site plan review for modification 2016-12 Revolutionary Clinics LLC requests an extension to meet the conditions set out in the last modification granted, where specifically odor mitigation plan is to be implemented and window remediation to be completed at the location at 1 Oak Hill Road, which is not industrial.
Hi, we're here. We grab the red the folks that are kind of hanging outside. You want me to introduce you individually, or you want to just come on in?
How's it going, guys?
Good. Do you remember Dan?
Yes, much smaller room than I'm used to.
Well, this is Devin, our VP of Compliance. This
Hello.
is Patrick. He is our Chief Engineer.
It's fine.
And just to try and kind of expedite things, we're still waiting on the odor mitigation plan, a new one.
I think it was just like a couple days ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's new.
I'm sorry, I looked last week, I must not have known.
Yeah, I literally got some of it in like in the last.
Oh, that's fine, that's
Yeah.
fine. I just, in that case, I haven't looked at it.
I actually got this stamp yesterday.
All right, so, yes, I saw, we saw that, on that same idea earlier. You
Yeah.
reported the modification, I saw, Chantal with that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I had them sign it the next day after the last time we were here, but I didn't realize you had to go to the registrar.
So is it the memo? I'm gonna pull something up on the screen. I have a memo, odor mitigation and.
It's once it's August 30th that we mailing, yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, August 30th. Okay, let me put this up on the screen so people can see what we're talking about. Okay. I will. And that full screen, hopefully the process something up this time. That's what we're gonna get, because I'm not messing it up.
You can see most of it.
Yeah, no, I'll scroll down as we go through. Okay, if you guys want to just give us the bullet points and what you're planning on.
Yeah, so we had the same engineer firm that did the original one, came back. In fact, we actually had the original engineer design the second, third, and fourth floors. So we have some more with better, information on it than say the people that did the original one. So when we went through the building with her, what she was actually pointing out is a lot of the carbon filtration that we added back to the building was their original, not original to what we gave you guys when that was a couple of years ago, but when they originally designed the floors, that they were supposed to have these filters, which I found really interesting because I didn't know that. So we able to know the old cultivation manager, like 3 people ago, had taken them all out. She was very surprised, because that was part of the biggest problem, is that they were removed completely. So, she wasn't surprised by the improvement after we put them back in. So what I was trying to kind of go through with her is like, because at that point since we had last night with you guys, we had Paul, I forget his last name.
Yes, Woods and Council.
Yeah, he was the last guy in our kind of list of people to go have to tour. So we had him take a tour too as well. And then I actually reconnected with the health department one more time. Said, we're seeing these better results. When I last checked, we still hadn't had any new complaints. So I asked her again, I was like, the timeline of that matches up with putting that equipment back in. Do we feel that is an adequate step to take at this juncture? And if we receive more issues, like, do we need to explore bigger options? Which it was their feeling that putting the carbon filters in was adequate for what the problem was. So, we actually plan to add how many more filters?
We're going to add 4 in quarter 4, right? 4 in quarter 4, and then 4 more in quarter 1. And this is over and above what the, in quote, her requirements were as the engineer.
Yeah, which I could apologize. I don't think the new filters are in there in this new memo. So I can get you maybe an updated.
Yeah, and that's not something that is required by Fuss O'Neill. That's not required. We are just doing that because I want the cleaner smells throughout our facility in and out. And not that we have any issues, because you have heard we have considerably dropped complaints to pretty much none in the last 6 months.
Have you done any outside monitoring though?
Yes. Fuss and O'Neill came and spent plenty of time around the facility. And
what about around the facility, different times of the day? I mean, you depict what they did, so it's like, it's not explained that whether or not you're going to continue to do this outside. Checks on the recorder or something, like, exactly. Yeah. We want to check to make sure that this is going to be like for a while, some type of routine.
We don't have that in this current plan. I think it'd be reasonably give you like a schedule of that. Exactly.
Right. Some type of schedule like that to just, I think that would be helpful to alleviate some other things about like, well, this is what we're doing, but because you didn't hear many own complaints directly. Right. It's like, well, we have to wait till someone drives by again or piece. So it's like, as you keep up with it.
Yeah, I think the biggest critic is us. Right. And that's we're more of a critic than anyone else. Of course, it's important to understand what the neighbors have to say and what, folks in the area say. But we are the biggest critics, meaning when we walk our buildings outside, we walk our buildings, we lap it no less than, well, we're doing a walk thing now. So even before that, we would walk the buildings. Patrick and his team walk the buildings 3 or 4 times a day. And if there's any outstanding odors, any outstanding issues, I'm told about them right away. And then we run those up the chain. And I want to be more specific. This is not a one and done for us. I know you don't know us, the previous leadership you haven't spoken to much. You will hear from us often. So Dan had made a really good point in that, should we send them the information of when we add these filters? And I said, absolutely, we can send them an email and say, hey, we've added over and above what we have through this firm, we're going to add 4 in Q4 and 4 more in Q1 in pocket areas that I believe we need a little bit more filtration. That, you know, this engineering company doesn't necessarily believe we do, but that just makes it a cleaner environment for the team.
Provide us with the schedule of those details.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds like you want
There's
more.
findings here, but it doesn't have us about doing. Like,
No, it doesn't say the
done,
extra.
But it's kind of like, you know, what are we
Yeah,
what we're
100%.
doing? We'll do some routine monitoring. We're gonna.
Sure, we could provide another narrative, at least from ourselves, that gives that kind of schedule. That's fine. And we at least, you know, Paul was pretty happy because we got like Dave's phone number and everything. So I guess the only phone number he still had was one of the Hansons, and they haven't been involved with us for some time. So I mean, if you're calling them, you're not getting a hold of us. So, you know, I think we could combine like a schedule of monitoring for the future. And we're definitely encouraging the locals to reach out directly to us. I did also, I don't know if I sent it to you or not. We did reach back out to Anwell.
Yeah, I saw the letter.
I did.
Yeah.
But I'm a little, you know, put off about it. Yes, it's like you're a great neighbor. However, it's like, it's explained up front at the time of application submittal who our neighbors are, and that they might smell marijuana in the air. My experience that all the new tenants have no problem with this. I don't like that. For instance, there should be no smell. It shouldn't be like, we know who's next door, you're gonna sign a waiver or something. It's like, we reduced it to like pretty much a 0 lot line because we got assurances there's gonna be no odor. There shouldn't be any odor in the apartment complex. So I don't want people just to think it's, you know, well, it's there, so we have to deal with it.
I mean, take it with a grain of salt. It's the project manager anyway. It's not someone who lives there. I held no weight in that letter whatsoever.
So I understand, like, there's a good relationship, but they didn't like, you know, oh, this is a.
It's a good relationship that also has
Building.
similar financial interests as the Ansons, who have financial interest in your business.
I think what's important is, Paula, what you asked, you're going to receive from us, and then a continuation of the monitoring. We'll send that schedule to you in our findings.
I was
Maybe you
surprised.
could put something sort of,
No,
like,
it's okay.
within, like, between that apartment complex, you could, like, locations, like, making sure, you know, we have this barrier there. It's as well as, you know, in that surrounding area, and then some key streets, those aspects of that.
I was
So not
surprised.
just like maybe like right next to the building, could be, it's from this, you know, exterior and how. And this is a good time to do it before we have any other facilities built, to just focus in on your structure. It's like that's.
I think that's reasonable.
There.
Like I told David, the biggest issue is if and when 32 Oak Hill Lane ever gets built, then it's
You're right.
people, you know, one business yelling at the other business because you're gonna be right across the street from each other.
It's you. No, it's you. It's you.
Exactly. So, you know, if we
We
can
have no windows.
solve the issue.
But still,
Look, the no windows is not the thing.
it's not the.
It's not the thing. It's all of your ventilation and what you do inside before it gets outside.
So I did want to just mention the Fuss and O'Neill letter confused me a little bit. So it said, this was the plan, we had the plan, these are the existing conditions. And then it said, these are few areas we noted, but it didn't say.
What's the plan?
Right, so it said, you guys will fix them, but it doesn't go into what I thought the PE was going to do, saying the fixes need to be this. So I thought they were going to detail out with each, like, for instance, he talks about, you know, the exhaust from the decarbonation room is sent outdoors through the exterior wall exhaust fan from the road. A strong cannabis odor was noted near the exhaust fan. The next sentence should be, this is how you solve that problem. I was very confused. He kind of left it to you guys, which is weird. You'd think the PE would be the one saying, these are the things that need to be solved, right? Because isn't that why we told them to get in touch with you?
Yeah,
fair point.
It is a fair point. Our fix is the carbon filters.
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't trust you. I trust the PE.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Like they're the ones that are supposed to say this is the solution. Now, and I you guys run a pretty good sized operation, so things have gotten better. Although off and on, I have smelt it over the last 2 weeks, but it's night and day as from a year ago, so that's good. But at the same time, I thought we were going to hear from the PE. These are the problems. These are the solutions. And then we say to you guys, these are the solutions. Do them. And, you know, we kind of had a blueprint there, and now it's kind of like, well, we noticed some problems, and then it ends there. It literally says, we noticed some problems, they'll fix them. Because it says at the end on one of the sentences, it says, Revolution Clinics subsequently submitted a plan for remediation of these sources to the plumbing board. But those are like I said, it wasn't the engineer, as far as I'm concerned, saying these are the solutions. So anyway, it's fine. If it solves the problem, it's fine. I appreciate that they went, so it's at least on record that they smelled odors, they smelled issues, so we know where they're coming from primarily. So you know where you need to focus right now on fixing those, you know, the last were his findings, the last 3 points in his findings. So, you know,
When those carbon filters are added to said room, we'll send that in our update and plan.
Because some of these are like, he's talking about one of them, he's talking about, I think, one of the plumes, which does a carbon filter solve what's getting exhausted through the plume?
So the high plume fans were part of the original plan. Correct me if I'm wrong. These high plume fans shoot the air up super far in the air, so that it takes away the odors, if you will. That's the way it was explained to me. Dan?
Yeah, it was at the lab itself currently has the high plume fan, compared to the standard sort of gooseneck vents that come out of the ERVs on the building. Sorry, yeah.
I guess I read that wrong. So because it says kitchen exhaust, I assume that was a plume, but that's not. That's, I think, the thing on the wall in the kitchen, because he showed, there's a picture of this. That's decarbonation room exhaust, typical can fan.
So
you're not looking, I'm sorry.
It looks like in the findings, though, it looks, you need to explore more and figure this out. At the time investigation, it could not be determined if the kitchen exhaust orders were cannabis, flavoring, or a combination of both.
Well, my point was, you guys, I wish this took it a step forward and said, this is how we solve those.
So I'd like you to go back and get that.
Right.
It's like with findings, but what's the next steps? And it's like, please, can you resolve this? Its findings and next steps or corrective actions, like how would, from the findings, would be,
Sure.
how is it to be resolved? And do those pass muster with the engineer, the third party, the party that you hire, as would this be effective? You need to pass it by them, and he's like, yeah, that would work. You know, it's like, these are the findings, and we're planning to go above and beyond, do this, would this solve the problem? Okay.
It would be nice if you guys address the findings, get a letter from Fuss and O'Neill after saying, these are how they address the findings, you know, however they, you know, we noticed that the odors are better, or whatever the case would be. And that would be nice to have something on paper saying, we have an independent third party who looked at what you did. They already know what they saw beforehand. You know, was it a good idea? Did it more or less solve the problem? But very much appreciate that you guys have, you know, seemingly been on top of this. So
I should be able to get them in at least in October.
I don't think there's an immediate rush. The fact that you're working on it is important.
Okay.
I think when we talked about the odor mitigation plan, the big issue was, like, when Dave and I, when we met, he said, well, basically throw the old one out the window. We're going to do a new one. And it looks like we're back to kind of the beginning where, okay, parts of the old one were fine. They just didn't execute it perfectly. Right. And now it's just executing it better. Right. So I think we're okay if the odor mitigation plan we have is still effective. You just have to implement all those carbon filters and fix these findings, which might not have been part of it.
I mean, if there is a table on it, building exhaust flows, it's like, is it not? It's not explained what that means. It's just a table of exhaust flows. It's like, is this good? Is it not? There's a couple of columns in there. Okay. You know, is that?
Yeah, so it's just CFMs of flow.
About, like, you know, our findings are for these rooms are shown that, you know.
Well, I said, you know, I could probably get them in like October and have an update.
I would say if you're comfortable, hold on, Dan, I would say if you're comfortable, we'll reach back out to them, get some more, you know, I guess clarity on what these findings are, and then add what we're going to do, and then get some finding and send it over to you so it's on paper within our file.
And I think you're fine too if you have from them, this is what they think the solution is, you implement the solution and you show us on paper, this is what they said, this is what we implemented, take it a step further and just get it, you know, get the stuff moving that you think will solve the problem. And I think we'll, you know, we're moving in the right direction.
With those follow-ups that you want us to come back for, can I just email them or, right?
What?
Just an FYI. He's saying, do they have to come back with the subsequent follow-ups of, you know?
Do you want to schedule it?
Well, I want to schedule them.
Okay.
So that's what we're coming down first, like, we need a schedule.
Okay.
So that's just the key piece. It's like, so how long is it gonna take to do this? It's like, we wanted to get this, like, here's the plan with, I guess my expectation was we're gonna have a plan with a schedule. And that way we can modify the plan with the schedule.
Understood.
But no, that was kind of like the piece of otherwise, you know, we're just still working through.
So how about this?
We were just wanted to get all on the same page of it's gonna be done by X date.
How about this, Paula? They draft a schedule, send it into Chantel so we have it. And then we'll plan on you coming back to us once you implement all the mitigation features and you can give us this is all that we finally decided on. And that way we have a schedule and we have a deadline where we know this is the day you think everything's done.
No, it's not an open-ended.
Yeah, no, I think this is simple. We have quarter four, of this year and quarter one of next year. What we can commit to, I think Dan was being a little generous with Russ O'Neill's time. Let's say we reach out to them, they say they can come back to us in quarter four. We then put the plan together. We have it completed by end of quarter one, 2025.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yep.
And I think we can get that done with no problem.
Okay,
Perfect. I know we can get that done with no problem.
Perfect.
that's like March 31st.
Yeah, and the goal is quite simple to get odor mitigation implementation done. And then it's just upkeep from that point, upkeep on carbon filter.
And here's our SOP. This is what we're implementing. We're going to have some routine monitoring going on for the next, year. Some increments, or is it targeted when flowering? When it's going to be.
I think that's a great point. We'll have the schedule. We'll have the SOP over to you so you can see what the standard operating procedure is going forward, even after quarter one, 2025. And we'll continue to monitor in quarter 2, 3, and 4, and 5 and beyond.
I mean, you could say, every 6 months we have 13 filters and, all that sort of stuff. That's helpful too. Perfect.
That's doable.
Does anybody else have any questions?
All set.
Appreciate some of that. Alex, do you have any questions or comments?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
Have you pulled a building permit yet for the extraction facility? Is that coming soon? What's the deal with that?
So right now we're working on the electrical. We're trying to evaluate the best ways to get that project moving forward for us. The other end, there are the site plan engineers. When we talked to them, felt that at least when we're trying to get it moved forward, that we should be able to mount it on
A cement pad.
like a cement pad, but not a board pad, like a
But still, according to the site plan that was originally approved 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Same location, same.
Everything's the same.
Correct. That's all I'm getting at. Is
Yeah,
that,
so we put in for the electrical permit. It was our understanding from the site plan, just a different firm, that if we went at it that way, then the building permit is negated by the temporary pad. Sorry if I'm not the engineer who designed, so I'm doing.
all I'm curious about is a time frame. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
The timeframe for
the extraction facility. Was it a
so
year?
the cement pad is poured. I mean, not poured, put down. The lab box is sitting on top of it.
Oh, it's already there?
Yeah. So what we need to do is we're filing a permit.
Yes.
Hold on, I can pull.
Yeah.
We filed a permit for the electrical to go to the unit to fire up the unit, and we're still working on gathering the pieces to put the fence around it, and then that's it.
Did you do the rest of the site plan for the improvements of the driveways and additional landscaping and all that in the?
So I think it was adding trees. We've done so. I would say my answer to that is yes. Devin, yeah.
As far as adding trees.
Yeah, just take a look at the site plan and just make sure that you
That's
comply
something
with
that
it.
we're gonna check. We should,
Yeah.
just be gone over.
Sure. Because that site plan was specific, this was part of that, so there was, I thought there was some work around it, and that looks like
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what it looked like.
That, well, that's, yeah, I say that picture is being taken from the courtyard.
Yeah, parking lot's on the left, right?
Yeah, so
Correct. So, yes, it was our understanding that, you know, for our own sake of trying to get things moved along, we really do actually need to get this done, that would take care of what the building permit would have needed to deal with, and that the electrical permits that we're pulling should be.
Yeah, I'm not
Sufficient.
Again, I'm not worried about permitting. That's
Yeah.
not for our board. All I'm asking you is ballpark timeframes. That's all I'm curious.
Maybe this will be up and running?
Yeah.
Oh.
When you'll be.
My plan with all, that's why we're pushing so hard, is within 30 to 45 days.
Okay, wow.
30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
We need to run that white fence you see to the right on the screen is going to be carried through and then come up and attach itself to the building on this side here. So this will be all gated
Yeah,
off.
that,
So it's like a court, so it's like a.
the caution tape more or less straddles the line that the fence will be on, but, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, just make sure before you start paying contractors, especially with the fence, make sure that it's according to the site plan that was drawn and then.
Yep, 100%.
please reach out to Chantel, Community Development Office, to go over any site plan conditions so that it can be signed off on.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do that in conjunction with you.
We kind of do it ahead of time.
Okay.
Ahead of
Not last minute.
planting the fence?
Well, they won't get, the big, there's no occupancy for something like
Yeah,
extraction
but
lab. So
they won't be able to use it either. Just saying, you have it done. You gotta be in compliance. You gotta be in compliance with the site plan. Not just I put the extraction lab in and everything else is undone.
No, understood.
We have to check to make sure everything else is done.
So, I mean, I guess.
So we reach out to all the.
That's fine. Just look at the conditions, look at the
Just
site plan.
Actual site plan, with all the.
Just an FYI.
Yeah.
Make sure those are done. Schedule a time, when you need time to schedule a week or two out to go out.
Okay, yeah, oh, yeah, see, that's
Sign
the,
off, and then she lets the building commission know that too.
yeah, no, yeah, I was saying, so that's the condition about the board checking everything before we are commencing going to the CCC,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so.
that we would still be doing that, yeah.
Yeah, and there's something I would like to address is that we have started significant progress. Does that, and before the 21st, do we have to file for the extension? Do we need the extension? Because we have moved forward.
I don't think it matters.
I think so, because you've already started.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just trying to understand the language, because was it 16? Yeah.
Is it
16 says substantial use thereof or construction thereunder is not begun.
anyway?
And it would expire, so, okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
we didn't want to like email and say, I don't think we need the extension. We just wanted to
Okay, you,
show up and be.
better to ask, yes, I hear
To
you.
be clear,
And normally I would say we could do it anyway, but then we have to actually write a decision and it's just, I don't
I
know.
thought it was, we talked last time, we thought it was important we were here, just in case, in good faith, plus it gives you another opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't know,
to ask us more
quite
questions.
honestly, I didn't think you would be this far, like, I didn't think you were jumping right into it, so it's good.
As long as things done.
That's why I said that, because if you hadn't started, it probably would have been good to extend the permit.
Yeah.
it's walk.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I understand about the site plan piece was because that tends to be,
No, understood.
There's staff time available, so it's like when you think you've got it done, reach out so they can schedule time to go out, take a look, so that it's when it times just to sign off on everything, it's just, it's easy.
And again, that's why Devon's here. She's our VP of compliance. She's gonna make sure I do it right. If I don't, I go to compliance jail for a little while.
So I'm saying is that 30 days before we're trying to get you?
That would be nice.
Okay.
That would be nice and fine.
Yeah, we can do that.
For sure.
Totally. So yeah, I have the box here with the schedules, you know, to get the Russ O'Neill back in, and SOPs, things like that. We've got covered. Okay, everything we went over.
I think so.
Okay.
If you get any questions, please feel free to reach out. We can go through things ahead of time too, like just making sure you got everything you put together. But the site plan is separate, like aspects, like if we're doing of that, then you can reach out anytime if you think you're done to say, hey, we're done, we think we're done, and we can schedule tomorrow.
I believe that's soon.
I think, I think I understand why you guys, when I say you guys, I mean Paula and Chantel, why you wanted on under special permit site plan review and modification. But at this point, we're not going to have anything to modify because it was just a permit condition satisfying the the odor mitigation plan. So it's really just, in the future, it can be under other business, review of permit conditions, something like that. Like the ZBA does, they do permit condition reviews. Because basically, we'll just give this leave to withdraw because we're not modifying anything. Even if they had the final odor mitigation plan done, we're not modifying it.
Right. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There was.
Yeah,
And then
we'll
it's
just
just
keep
in
it
case
open.
there's anything happening,
Yeah.
and then at the next meeting, they can withdraw it.
Yeah, we'll just keep it open.
You can have it open.
There was something you wanted me to check into specifically, which was parking.
Yep.
Next time I saw you. We have 152 parking spots. We have 120 employees. Within that, we do have a very small second shift, which consists of about 12 to 15 people. We do not see ourselves going forward and adding a full second shift. So as far as parking goes, we have ample parking for folks and ample parking if we want to add some folks.
That's great.
Yeah, we're not intending to do the rows and building parking either, so.
No.
Perfect.
Okay, that was
Excellent.
important because it was, I think
At one point, they were way over
like,
capacity.
It should be like timing of shifts and things like that to even allow separate time, like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was a big issue in Blair too, for sure. But I don't think we've had problems with this stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to continue till October 22nd. We'll just leave it open just in case we ever have to modify something between now and then we can just give a leave to withdraw once we're good.
Since it's already been advertised and everything, might as well.
We don't have to come back on the 22nd, do we?
You
I mean, if you want me to, I will.
You want something to present the new
Okay.
plan, like, here's what we're doing.
I'll come back.
Thank you.
I will come back.
You know, we revise this document and it's like, we'll have some timelines and this is what we intend to do.
I feel like I know you guys so well already. I'll come back.
We'll miss you otherwise.
Yeah.
Amanda was the second on that.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. A motion's been made to continue for second by Amanda. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed.
And before we vote, can I just say something? Why don't we continue till November? We have a bunch of stuff on our agenda. They're not in a hurry anyway. Why don't we just continue to our November meeting?
It would make it easier only because I think I'm going to take a vacation that week. That's why I don't have the time to fly back home for.
So I don't know why I didn't think of that originally. So our November meeting is the 26th, which is Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, that'd be nice to not.
Well, I think we have to come back these days.
That's what they say.
No, it's in November. Oh, right, sorry.
November 26th. We could push it. Well,
November's
our
fine.
December meeting's a problem to begin with.
Say November.
November's fine. We'll do November and
Yeah,
then.
we'll keep the communication open, make sure that everything that you need gets sent to you. And then when you tell us to be here. for
As long as we
we'll be
see
here.
progress being made and we don't revert back to the issues we were there before, then I think there's some flexibility time frame. So if you need to say, we can't make it, we'll deal with that.
You have my commitment that there's open communication and then we'll continue to talk. You all have my card.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can reach directly out to myself. And then Peter also has my card and I get to have lunch with him next week. I'm excited.
Perfect.
So we'll keep in.
All right, so that motion is amended to our November meeting.
Right.
Okay.
A motion's been made with again second by Amanda. Roll call vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say opposed. Amanda?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
All right.
Great, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Dean has
And the rest of you.
Dean's been very patient.
Thank you.
Thanks, because I believe, if I remember correctly, Dean was Local Roots. Dean, was I right in that assessment? I just unmuted you.
Can you all hear me?
We can. Can you turn it up 2 notches?
Nice to see you all. It's been a couple of years.
Yes. I do want to say you were one of our pioneers, so it's good to see you back.
It's fair enough, but I still got the open.
All right. Because it's getting relatively late, is it safe to say this is a very simple summary? You want to open instead of 11 in the morning, you want to open at 10 in the morning?
Which would align us with every other dispensary in the city. And I believe Chantel has a letter from Chief Martineau that says he's okay with it.
Yeah, the chief called me right before the meeting and he said he wanted to convey that he thinks it's a great idea and he was perfectly fine with it.
So we just want to go explain just the procedure now. So this is like, approaching us with, yeah, this is what we would like to do, and that's just gonna be, as you just heard, it's gonna be a special permit modification.
Okay,
So we'll just have to, you'll have to submit an application for that, and it'll be advertised and for our next agenda. So we can modify that condition.
okay. So it's going to be a special permit modification for which I will apply, and then it'll be is it a public hearing?
Yes,
Okay,
it has to be. We can't change permit conditions without a modification.
understood. And do you think I'll be able to get on your agenda for your next meeting in October?
I don't
Yes.
think it will be an issue, Dean. What I can do is I'll send you an application for a modification. And if you could just write a narrative or summary, just like you did in the email on your letterhead.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
Okay, sure.
I will say, me personally, Dean, I think it makes all the sense in the world. I was actually surprised when I saw that you open later in the morning than other ones. The closing times are the issues, if they're different, but the opening times, to get everyone on the same page and open at the same time, makes all the sense in the world. So I'm fine with it.
Okay.
But we'll get there in a moment.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I know it's late. I appreciate you taking the time to take a look at this in such short notice.
You were very patient. Thank you.
Okay. Chantal, I'll look for that email.
Yeah,
And by the way, thank you, by the way, for your communication. You've been fantastic.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thanks, Dean. Much appreciated.
So we have underneath other business, True Storage, 432 John Fitch Highway. And I'm not sure if
That's
we
me.
have, we do have the letter, however, this is just for some discussion here at this point. We can't change anything.
I can pull it up.
Carlin was supposed to come, but she is ill, so I'm going to, if you have questions, I can find time.
This is just an FYI, right? That they're going through Concom and Concom wants to change the site.
Oh, no.
No, it's not just
It's
FYI.
not FYI, unfortunately.
Okay.
We've been struggling with them.
Okay.
So let me pull up my. So Harlan's been dealing with, so True Storage is a project I kind of came in halfway in on when I was hired. I did not realize that conservation was not notified about this proposal, and they should have gone through conservation. There are some conditions in our decision that are technically conservation's jurisdiction, and they would like us to remove them and modify our decision. So that's what this memo from Berlin says. If you want me to read it again, or if you want to follow.
I can see the 3 bullet points, condition 11, 18, and 21, about the 4-foot high fence to be installed around the rear side of the property adjacent to the brook to help catch litter before it enters the brook. 18, clear necessary brush and reshape bank to aid performance of outfall. 21, install proposed stormwater and silt retention basin on northwest side of the property in accordance with the phasing timeline, not to exceed 2.5 years from the filing of the special permit decision with the city clerk. And typically, I was to say, most of the stormwater, anything that we see in these plans will be modification after they've gone through Concom. It's like once they've submitted to us, but once they go through the other, if they hadn't already gone through, would have to come back for a modification. So the applicants, you're gonna have to tell the applicant to come back for modification.
Well, they have to come back to modification for us anyways, because on another aside, the movie theater closed up,
Yes.
and they demoed it, and they're planning on expanding the storage area into that area. And they didn't notify us, so
they can ask.
Currently a cease and desist, yes.
That's gonna be quite a discussion.
Yes, so like I said, we we've been having some issues, and I think they do need to come back before the board. So that's.
So you're saying instead of requesting the applicant to modify their decision, we
have to come back.
remand the decision back for consideration of modifying conditions. We can do that as a board.
We can, yeah.
We can, but they have to come back anyway.
Okay.
So
Right. But what I'm saying is, Harlan is asking us to remove the things that are in the purview of Concom, which, fine. I mean, it's not unusual. For us to
have
have.
to add on this Concom change it, like unless under the jurisdiction, just have to add something. Otherwise, it's just tweaking the language.
Hey, whatever you want to do.
Usually we just say it's like, subject to, it's like you're going to do this subject to whatever the concept. So it's like, could be, it just needs to be more qualified. And or again, removed, but the site plan should even show that. So if the site plan doesn't show that, they have to modify the site plan. Anyway, so they have to be sent back to modify the site plan if they're not going to install to the site plan. If they can't, in the Concom, the applicant has to come back.
Yes.
So.
Because they are making modifications to the
Correct.
site plan in regards to the changes that the
Right.
Concom is asking for.
And they need modification of the special permit conditions associated with that. So they need to come back for modification of the special permit and the site plan. And to serve in their interest, they want to seemingly expand the storage. That is also a modification. So even to contemplate that that's the route they have to go. So I don't think we have to.
But all I'm saying is Harlan is asking us to modify the verbiage in our conditions.
But they have to come back anyway.
Okay,
So,
that's-
Yep, so I
If
don't.
you don't want to do it,
Yeah,
I don't care.
I'd rather have the applicant come back to do that.
What if the applicant says doesn't
Well,
choose
he
not
can't
to?
get any more building permit. He shouldn't be doing anything further work. Should be a cease and desist
There
because
was
they're not.
two cease and desist.
I'm only looking at this from Harlan's perspective because she's a city employee and has asked us to do something and we're literally saying no. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying, no, it's just a procedure to get there, okay?
Right, but we can call our own permit back, like,
It's
next month.
debatable. There's issues with, there's qualifications about to do that, okay? Just when somebody actually takes a project, it's different if they start a project. It's a little different. So there might be some legal footsteps.
Yeah.
And you can avoid that piece of it, or even going down that road just by having them come back since they have to anyway.
I do believe they have intentions of filing the modifications. They have been in contact with us, so, just to let you know.
They have a cease and desist because they have to come back soon.
Yes, exactly. It kind of stopped everything, and so,
So
Yeah.
if that's the case, Chantel, so this doesn't fall through the cracks, if and when they file a request for modification, bring these to their attention that it's I suppose you can't bring these to their attention. You can say that the Concom would like the decision to be edited so that it reflects their decision or that it reflects the applicable parts of their decision. I don't know necessarily how that goes, but.
they're gonna have to give us some modified plans showing what changes
Yes.
occurred
Correct.
with Concom. And just so you're informed, the DPW has been on site as well, working with Harlan and sorting out the stormwater and looking at the site. They're doing some testing there and whatnot about flows and outfalls and things like that. So it is an ongoing thing, and so we will probably get some decent feedback from the DPW regarding this modification.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be larger than what Harlan's, depicted there, but,
Okay.
Yeah.
but since, we need new site plans anyway to modify it.
All right, that's fine.
So this is, I think, a great heads up that it needs it. And we'll have to work with it with everything else going on and it will be modified.
There's no reason to even do anything until Concom's done. Unless
Right.
the applicant files a decision.
So they need to revise plan to get through the Concom to do that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good.
And then we can modify accordingly to what it is.
Okay.
If they're pointing out that it's like in violation of of the permit. It's one with the cart and the horse.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, that's at least my take on it.
Okay, so what I'll let Berlin know is that you're open to modifying, but you want to wait until the plans are completed by Concom.
Yes.
In order to have some, but
We need to modify
modified. Yeah.
accordingly to that, what it should be. Yeah, then we'll change all those, the conditions to reflect that, and at the same time, it looks like the applicant may have another interest to seek modification too, so.
Right. Okay. All right. I got my marching orders. Thank you.
Yeah, because if we start down the road of saying we just want to modify to remove those things, what are we actually we're just going to put the condition subject to just we still need to come back for another modification for the site plan.
Correct. I agree.
So it's just, perpetual.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Yes.
what about the fact that they actually started construction on a space that is supposed to be reserved for retail?
I think that she mentioned there was a cease and desist.
There was.
There is. There's, yeah.
That should, if they're seeking any expansion of that from what was approved, then they have to come back to seek our approval for that.
Mhm.
You need to bring the legal team with you. We really needed it tonight. It's the issue.
A lot.
A lot.
We were just saying that I think we've asked for legal like twice in the last year or two. And I think we had 3 or 4 tonight that we couldn't do anything on because we need
There's one
determinations.
project we've ever gone through that really requires the Conservation Commission to look at it. It's this one.
Yeah.
How on earth did?
It was a timing thing. It was Mike leaving and Mike did Concom and that and her was starting with Concom and
Regardless of that, they have engineers who know the law.
it was an oversight.
Are we talking about John Fitch Highway?
Yeah. It was an oversight. But yes, you're right. This is a
Being addressed now.
Baker Brook is a notorious problem. So yeah.
So we have chapter 60. I think that's the chapter 61.
I had a comment on that. Jacqueline Wetchy, Fitchburg resident. And please do not let the city buy land on Alpine Road or anywhere else. We have many greater needs, including funding a contract for the Fitchburg Public School employees, including our paraprofessionals who do not earn a living wage, replacing the Longs Joe School, which is mold, cockroaches, and rats, and paving our roads, the #1 priority of residents. And I know there are certain people in the city who've been really pushing to use taxpayer money to buy land for their pet projects. One of the prime culprits is the Agricultural Commission. And I'm really hoping that you will say no and not let the city go around buying land. We have other priorities that are more important.
Just please state your name for the record.
Jacqueline Wetchy.
The address?
That's 1.4. Let me just pull it up on GIS. S 1.4. I had the letter up a second ago, but
Well, I just have forming the city of the right of first refusal.
it's 25.
Typically, that's more of an FYI to our board.
Right, it is.
We don't take any action on this. It's the city council.
Okay. F 125. We are allowed, if we so choose, to give recommendations. I don't think it's important because I don't think it's a piece of land that we will buy nor have any interest in buying. S 124 right there. What the heck? Oh, S 124, this one. Oh, was this the church one? The one we did the common driveway on?
Oh.
No, maybe not. No, that was on the other bend. That was this bend. Okay, that's the other side of the street. So before you get up to the cell towers, the wooded area. Right. So here's the cell tower area up here. This is the piece line right here. That says S 124 on it, right? S 124, yeah.
Yes, S1-24-0. And Jacqueline, do you have address?
I prefer to have that redacted.
Oh, okay.
Just for Pittsburgh.
I'm not sure if she's from Pittsburgh.
I am from Fitchburg.
Well, okay. At least we know you're a resident. Okay, good. That's fine. We just don't know. We just want to. All right.
So this is an FYI for the board, right, Chantel?
Yeah, essentially, and if you have comments on it, they always ask you, so that's why I put it at the next.
I don't have any comment. I can't make a pro or a con on it because I don't have any.
It's not necessarily an
Not
important piece of
necessary.
land for us.
These chapter 61 are frequent, so. I'm not sure.
Has the coun-
that if there's a hearing.
Yeah, it goes in front of the council, because the council has to, yeah, or you let the time run out, it's 90 days. But anyway.
Okay. Does anybody else have any question or comment on this?
Thank you for being patient.
Yes, you sat all evening with us.
I've never been to one of your meetings.
You should wear a little.
This was a particularly boring one.
You were a little more productive.
So you had to wait till the very end.
Yeah. All right. Can we do Shay? Can we
Yeah,
do
can
Shay?
we do Shay?
I wrote it, I kept it blank, and so we could fill it in.
Okay, thank
For
you.
Wherever you, for whatever date.
All right, so this is the extension to open the hearing for the County Solar Zero Shea Street. Since that time, since the last extension that was granted, I think it was like in February. Just the September date is a moratorium has been put in place. So we couldn't even if we wanted to open a hearing on this matter. So the extension is just to open the public hearing for it. So it has to be a date that's after when the moratorium expires, at least. So it expires in May of 2025.
So my suggestion is our June 24th is our June meeting, and well, we haven't done the schedule yet, but theoretically.
Let's
that's
say June 30th.
Can we do
Yeah.
like the day after the scheduled meeting?
Well, let's just do the end of the
No,
month.
Paul's right. We can just do the last day of the month, June
That's
30th.
perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then as Paul and I talked about this earlier today, in the event that this moratorium gets lifted in, let's say, March, I don't know where it's going to go, but let's say it does. Let's say zoning gets changed ahead of time. At that point, the board can meet and we can change this to a more close period of time than June. But as of right now, we might as well go until the end of the moratorium because we can't do anything until then anyway.
30th, 2025. Does that sound reasonable to folks?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, is there?
Do you want to take a vote on that? Make a vote. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Sign this. Motion's been made with the second by Amanda for the extend the public hearing date for Zero Shade Street Solar to June 30th, 2025. Roll call vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say opposed. Amanda?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Paula? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
Right. All right, so get that.
Chantel, did we, I usually put all the meetings over the course of the year in my Google calendar. Did we change, we had to change the December meeting.
We did.
Okay, to what day? Either the week before or the week after?
And the week before, I think it's on a Thursday.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
all right, I don't have that in my calendar. Let me double check.
My schedule,
No, it's on the, I've seen it before.
yeah, it's online. If you want to get it, I just don't have it.
No, it's fine. I got it. I remember it being on here before. Open the file. Oh, here we go. December 17th. That's a Tuesday.
Oh, it is a Tuesday?
Yep.
I thought one of them.
Because I still had it in my calendar as Christmas Eve, and I was like, that can't be right.
No.
December 7th.
We're dedicated, but
All right.
oh, maybe that line. We have communication, Mass DOT about Safe Routes to School project. So that's just a communication available to folks. And then we have our minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes.
I saw the other two before.
Yeah, we got, I sent them to Paul late and then I think Paul sent them in yesterday. So I don't fault you for not reading them in time.
If people want more time,
If you think you need more time, then say it. If not, we can just
then
go
we
through it.
can
It's up to
extend it
you.
to the next meeting.
More than happy to go next meeting if you want.
Well, since I haven't read them, I don't feel right.
Yeah, that's fine. So you
It's
just
5/23/2021.
May, okay. All right. That's fine.
So we have for our May 23rd.
Excuse me. Let's open up now.
Look at that. See, 2023 on the first page, 69 Colley Street. Years back then.
Mm-hmm. No one present. No. I actually had a note about that. I had a note about that was like 2019, I think, when we had done it before.
Does anybody feel comfortable with approving these minutes?
Yeah, so I'm good with these ones.
Perfect. Make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made.
This is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023 meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion's been made with a second to approve. All those in favor, roll call vote, say aye. Opposed, say opposed. Amanda.
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Paula. Aye. Alex.
Aye.
Right.
That's good. Get those ones done. All right, now we're pretty much caught up.
And as deference, we will move the December 2023 and June 25th, 2024 meeting minutes to our October meeting. To give people a chance to read them since they were just uploaded.
There, we're gonna make sure those get in the next.
Yeah, I'll upload them. I'm making a note now.
You're welcome. He's like, move.
Yeah.
And this will, to that
Pretty much caught up, yeah.
December one will get us caught up to, at least into this year.
And October's meeting's looking pretty heavy right now.
Yeah.
We got a lot of continuing.
I also have a lot of submittals too already.
Well, then let's take a look at that because we may have to push them to November. We don't have to put everything within the first hearings. We have 60 days, so we can take a look to see what can be spread out.
Okay.
That's the case because we do have our own time. We have our time limits.
Yeah.
Should we meet twice in November? Or is that?
I don't think that's necessary. I mean,
I'm sorry, but
it's nice that you asked. You know what we need to, so Amanda, so what we need, I'm glad you brought this up. What we need to ask is that we need a public hearing date for the 3A zoning ordinance modifications, which is the MBTA piece for the smart growth.
Council still hasn't sent that out yet though, right? They haven't asked us to.
Well, it can be a joint meeting or it can be separate meetings. In any case, we have to have a meeting.
Right, no, I know.
But
What I'm
it's gonna be a
saying,
separate
what I'm
meeting.
saying is I don't think the council's taken action yet, so they haven't even asked us to have a meeting yet.
I'm just saying we have to plan for having a separate meeting.
Sure.
Aside from our planning board meeting, we'll deal with that.
yeah, no, I'm definitely all for like separate meetings when it comes to zoning and all, like all that stuff, because these meetings it's a lot, and then to talk about this other thing for 2 more hours is.
If it ends up being a second meeting, the second meeting should be a Thursday. As long as we can get a quorum, especially if it's 3A, we need 4 people. Only because we can be in the legislative building, we don't have to deal with, although today Zoom was better than going to meeting. Even with the hiccups earlier. But we'll be in legislative, which is easier for people if people want to come and speak. And we don't have to deal with 2 Tuesdays, and ZBA has at least 2 Tuesdays. So just a thought. My 2 cents, but
Yeah, we need to talk about this like relatively soon.
Yes, and Liz has been working on it, but she's currently attending a funeral, so when she gets back, I'll put this on it. Okay.
I actually told Liz, I sent her like 6 years before, there's a website where you can, you know.
You schedule.
Yeah, you can do scheduling so that she doesn't have to.
Yeah, it's a doodle poll.
Yeah, so you can see who's available what days.
Yep. Yep, okay, then I'll work on that. Okay.
Anything
That
else?
being said, I don't think there's anything else, but just a general, there's more to come on zoning ordinance. This is 3A is the first focus, but as we're well aware, there's the recent legislative change with ADU, so we'll have to consider that as a city, but what do we want to change, if anything, about the zoning ordinance for ADUs? And then accessory dwelling unit.
Okay.
They're not allowed by right.
They're now allowed by right in residential zone districts, so, but they can be subject to site plan review and other criteria, setbacks and things. And
We're both entitled to what it's referred to as, yeah.
so parking and other stuff. Some restrictions on things, there's restrictions on the size. But communities can set different other additional type of criteria through site plan review. So those, take a look at that. The state is supposed to be putting out some guidance, Department of Housing. DHCD, yeah, Planning, Development and Housing. So everybody's kind of waiting for that, yeah, to guide, so we're to kind of go with that. But it's sometime in February, yeah, of 2025. So, yeah, so it's kind of relatively quick about trying to.
We have to, we
need to have our stuff.
Well, we have stuff in our zoning law right now that would contradict what state law now allows. So we need to at least change the stuff that, like, you know, state law doesn't restrict rentals of those accessory dwelling units. They don't require owner occupancy of the accessory dwelling units. There's certain parts of our bylaw that might have to be changed just so that everything's in line and we're in compliance.
Right.
What the state.
Yeah, and then there's also the ground mounted solar piece, which the moratorium's until May, so that also has to be done with everything that's the next, 6 months sooner. At that, so there'll be a lot more. And
so you'll be excited about it. There'll be more than one meeting, at least one.
Yeah.
Multiple ones probably.
It's just to make it more palatable.
I hear you. It's you know how it is. End of the night, people get angsty.
Your attention is, yeah. The details start to get a little fuzzy.
Yeah, and I'm ready to go, and I don't want to talk about this right now. So it's, if you hit me with it earlier in the night, I might have valid input for you rather than.
No, it's a good point. Well taken.
Yep. And I don't have anything else other than that. Anybody else?
No, I'm good. Maybe motion to adjourn.
Motion with a second by Amanda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.